Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome to the after show party. It's quite a night. Oh, what a night. Insanity. Insanity. Uh, don't worry. I'll do it when I finish my coffee. Shout out to Megatron. Before we get too far into it, let me get some ones in the chat. Oh, I see some ones popping up already. For those who don't know, I asked for ones in the chat so that I can be sure you guys can see me, you can hear me. Everything is copacetic. Otherwise, I'm sitting here talking to myself, and that can not only be embarrassing, but it's humiliating. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I wanted to talk about some of this foolishness. Some of this foolishness. Before we get into it, I want to give some shout outs to some members. Get some hearts in the chat for Jody Periscala, Betty Aldridge, Megatron, Carmel Cuties, one of our Mega Mod squad, as well as but yeah, let's keep Darlene Hall in our prayers as well. She got some good news, but let's keep those good vibes going. So let's get some hearts in the chat. Like I said, I don't really want to. I don't like sharing people's business, but just shouting folks out, letting them know like we got your back. I think that's important. So I'm gonna throw some hearts in the chat too. All right. Yeah. This show, boy. This show, yeah. Duck, nope. What did they say? He said, I don't need to hear their opinions on polygamy again. So accurate. I did not need to hear their opinions on polygamy again. TLCs need to reimburse me for time wasted watching this trash. Guys, gals, folks, people, let me tell you something. James did a video earlier that I wanted to release tomorrow. And the video that I put together, it kind of anticipated that they would be talking about the catfish incident tonight, right? And even though they didn't discuss the catfish incident, I frankly think that the video still holds. Damn it. Still won't let me upload it. Mother fricker. I still think it holds validity in this sense. The video I put together talks about, like, because I know, like, I was one of those people too. I jumped on the whole thing of the apology tour being the first stages of Kody trying to revitalize and rehabilitate his image. Like, this is all image laundering, right? But I'll break it down, guys, because I watch, I listen, I study. And like I said, when you understand a thing, you can understand what a thing is capable of. And watching this, I break it down this way. There are 3 phases to the Kody Brown, Robyn Brown, TLC, Sister Wives image laundering of these individuals. The apology tour was only the first phase. Like, we got so wrapped up, the apology, he was apologizing and he said he's sorry and his heart is broken and he has to go and meet with each one of these women. Like, they're the 3 quests that any hero would have to take, like a Greek tragedy. Right? When you think of heroes such as Perseus, the 11 labors of Hercules, Ulysses, Theseus, right? And these Greek heroes They always have to go out and do something in order for them to realize their greatness. They have to set out on a quest. Like same. That's what phase one was. That's what the apology tour was. It was Kody Brown setting himself out as the hero on this great, vast quest to apologize to these women. Right? That was his quest. That was phase one. And what did he do? Like in the apology, as I'll describe in the video. Well, actually, you can watch the video. The video is only like 8 minutes long. It's a shorty. It's a shouty, right? That was phase one, the apology. And the apology had two objectives. Then you get to phase two. Phase two was what we watched tonight, right? Phase two is when you have, like, after Kody goes out on the apology tour, he helps to reshape the arguments. Then he comes back on phase two, and then they start talking about how they struggled, and you turn Kody into the everyman. And that was essentially what the argument was, or the disagreement between Kody and David tonight. See, Kody was making an argument that he is like everybody else. Guys, I am struggling. It's not my fault that the relationships fell apart. It's, oh my goodness, it was so hard. It was so difficult. Nobody could have done this because I had no idea what I was doing. The worst part of it, the whole thing, the worst part is that they use the women to sit there and aid him in this part. We got to watch it with Janelle. Oh, when we were struggling as young people, we didn't know how to do it. It wasn't no manual. We didn't have instructions on how to be polygamous. That's all helping Kody in his objective. Because how can he be the villain? How can he be the evil person if he just didn't know what he was doing? I made a mistake. I didn't know. I didn't know no better. I did the best I could. I failed because nobody ever taught me how to do it. And even worse, like with the argument with David, David makes the point that, oh, well, these guys have egos. These guys like when their wives are arguing and fussing and feuding amongst each other. These guys like the power of the triangulation when he can get them to argue and fuss and feud with each other. They don't recognize what I'm doing. They're not keeping track on me. And then you had the wives come out. Oh, David, oh, that made my stomach turn. It's like he's describing his sister's relationship. He's talking about his limited experience with polygamy. Polygamy. I love saying that shit. I can say polygamy, but I choose to call it polygyny. Right? Polygamy. Right? So David now, they're sitting there saying that David don't know what he's talking about. Kody ain't never put us against each other. Kody was a good man. See, here's the dummy do part of that whole statement, that whole tactic that they're taking. If Kody is a good man and Kody didn't know what he was doing, and you guys were all just sitting there messing things up all together, then at some point, and this is like the phase 3 part that we're going to see, and you'll hear about in my video, if you choose to watch it. If you choose to take the challenge, the Pepsi challenge, and watch the video that'll come out tomorrow, what you'll see is he's going to ultimately turn this whole shit around, and it's not going to be his fault. It's not going to be his responsibility. It's going to be on those OG3 women, those evil ass wenches who sat up there and made my life hell. And now I'm the bigger person because I'm going to forgive them. I'm going to let them off the hook and try to move on and try to save and salvage the family. Because I'm the only person in this equation who is emotionally mature and stable. That's the whole game, y'all. That's the game. It's not just him going out and apologizing. That was phase damn one. That was phase one. There's two other phases to this whole thing. There's another part of it that he's actually missing. That's going to be a video unto itself. Why Kody messed it up. Why it's not going to work. Why it won't work. But I'm telling you, this is what the man is doing. I'm looking at, I'm watching it happen. You don't know, James. You ain't never been a polygamist. See, the difference is, James, you think you know shit and you don't know jack shit. But you think you know jack shit. I was in the shit and I realized I don't know jack shit. So I know more than you because I was in the jack shit. All that, you can save that dumb shit, that circular ass argument. Because as David said, and almost like I've been saying this shit the whole time, I don't have, well, David said it more politely than I will. He said, I can watch a woman have a baby and realize that that shit is hard. I don't have to experience it. I don't have to, I can tell by the screams, the sounds that come out of a human being when they are passing a child. I can tell that that's another worldly type of pain. You don't have to kick me up on the table and try to get me to piss a watermelon for me to understand that this is not a good time. That nobody in this situation is having fun. Okay? I'll say, yeah, I'll leave it to what David said. I'm not going to get more crass than I've already been. We'll be a gentleman tonight. But I despise the fact that everybody's trying to play him out because he didn't experience. There's a lot of things that I can look at and say, yeah, that shit's not a good idea. And it's not that I can't go out and try to corral 3 or 4 people, convince 3 or 4 people to be my spiritual wives. It's that, how about the fact that the shit is stupid? It's dumb to me. It doesn't make sense. I say that it's part ego because I will phrase it differently than David did. David said, oh, it's about ego. They have huge egos because this is how they operate and they feel that they're entitled to it. I say you have a huge ego, even in the best light, because you think that you're enough to pleasure and please and satisfy and be able to attend to 3 or 4 people at the same time and meet their psychological, physical, emotional, intimate needs that they have as human beings. You think you're that special. You think that you all that in a bag of chips, so therefore you can pull this shit off. That's why you get into polygamy. Let's call it what it is. It's not just the fact that, oh, you got these women and you got them competing with each other, and that's where the ego comes from. I don't like the fact that they tried to diminish what David was actually saying. Because partly because I've been saying the same shit the whole time. So if you're going after him, you coming after me. Now here's the difference. David is being polite. David is nice. He's a nice guy. David is a nice guy. Kody tries to smash him down and talk shit about him. And he's one of those construction workers. Who does he think he is? Those guys are crass and disgusting. They're low caliber individuals. Low IQ, no social standings or manners. Who do they think they are to criticize someone as special as I, Kody Brown? You asshole, let me tell you something. These men, there are men who go to work every day and they clock in, they clock out, they come home and they take care of their family. Some of those men who do that work construction. You are not defined by the thing you do. Just because you punch into a clock, that doesn't tell me who you are, you ass. And this is coming from somebody. I've worked and I've lived many lives. I've been blessed enough to live many things. I've experienced many things. From the time I worked since I was I can't remember what, because my grandfather owned a store, and I technically, when we would go visit him and my grandmother, I worked in that store. I worked the store. I worked in convenience stores, stocking shelves, ringing registers, sweeping floors. I've been working. I've been working. I remember when I went to college. I'm in college. I left one job where I was a supervisor in high school as a receptionist. I was a receptionist supervisor. Left that job, went to college, got a work study because I had to work through college. I didn't have nobody saying, James, free money. I had to work. So I got a work study program. I was on a work study program where they give you employment or whatever. I was emptying trash cans. Then I went and became a manager of the student union, the big building or whatever, while I was in college. Within that first year or so, got promoted to that. Been there, done that. Worked in corporate America. Been there, done that. The saddest shit I've ever. I say all that to say this. The saddest shit I've ever seen. The saddest shit I've ever seen is to see somebody in an environment where you working for a big time job. You got that Fortune 500 corner office, driving a car that's probably cost more than some people's houses. And you define yourself by the title on your business card. The saddest shit I've ever seen is when those people lose their job. When the business gets acquired, because I've been through mergers, I've been through acquisitions, I've seen that shit. The saddest shit ever is to watch somebody who has had this job and was supposed to be the most important person in the room, Mr. Blase blah, boom, boom, boom. That guy lose his job. And now all of a sudden, he's not Mr. Vice President so-and-so. And it crushes them because they've defined who they are based on what they do. That's the saddest shit ever. I've known people who are horrible human beings who make more money than the richest shit. Horrible fucking human beings, terrible, miserable people. I've known people who have been broke as hell, happy as shit, go home, love the hell out of their family, support their kids, support their neighbors, do everything they can to try to be active in not only in the community, in their church, in the people around them, but in their family lives. They are those people. Don't have two nickels to rub together. So you can't define a person based on what they do. And the sheer fact that this asshole gets on TV and tries to criticize somebody based on a job that they have, sir, what have you been doing for the last 15 years? You sit here and pretend like you big time because you were on a reality show. The only reason, if we keep it all the way a buck, and let's talk numbers, mother, let's talk it. Let's talk the talk. If we're going to talk show business, the only reason why you were on that show, not because you're charming, not because you're interested, not because you're talented, you're on that show because you were in an alternative lifestyle and you presented as an alternative lifestyle. You never would have had a show had you been a monogamist. Let me say that again. I'm going to say it slow for you. You're about to make me say something jacked up. Let me say it slow. You never would have had a show had you done what many of us had suggested from the beginning. I would have respected the fact, not liked it, but I would have respected the fact if you would have went to your three wives, the OG3, looked them in the face and said, you know what, babies? Can't say baby, gotta say babies. You know what, my babies? I met Robyn, aka Thundercat, and she hit me with that beatbox. That beatbox boogaloo, and I'm telling you right now, there's no going back. There's no going back. It's over. It's done. I'm not coming home no more. Don't look for me. Don't call for me. It's over. Right? I wouldn't have liked it. I would have respected it though. At least you were being honest. And you were telling them what you were feeling, what you were going through, and where you were. If you would have did that shit, and it was the Robyn Kody show, you wouldn't have lasted 3 months on that show. That show would have been insta canceled. And not just because she's a younger woman taking a husband away from not one but 3 wives and taking a father away from not one but 13 kids. It wouldn't have been that wouldn't have been a reason why you would have lost the show. You would have lost the show for the same reason that your personality clashed on Special Forces. Because frankly, you're not that interesting. You're not that interesting. You're fascinating because you are part of a polygamous relationship. This is also part of the reason why, if I'm going to be completely honest, you struggle as a character trying to define yourself independent of your relationships with Christine, Mary, and Janelle. Do you notice that you have to keep talking about them? If you were really interesting, if you were really fascinating, you wouldn't have to talk about them at all. In fact, the show would have already, TLC, I've talked about this before. TLC would have already spun you guys off to your own spinoff. TLC has more spinoff money than I've ever seen anybody in the history of TV. They will spin anything off. The damn dog will get a damn spinoff on TLC. Here go Henry the Hamster. Come watch his show, Single Life with Henry the Hamster, the Family Pet Edition. They don't give a shit. TLC will spin you off for whatever reason. Any reason. Because you've been on the show. Jen might get her own show. Messing around on TLC. So it should bother you that you don't have your own show, Mr. High and Mighty, going to look down on a person who clocks in every day and shows up to work. And yeah, he works construction. That's one of the hardest damn jobs you could do. Construction, AKA, I mean, drywall can be rough, but damn sure, like, you say construction, like we talk about people who put roofs up on top of houses, roofers. You go in there and start laying carpets, them guys kicking. There was a time, not so much now, but there was a time when Home Depot and Lowe's used to hire guys who worked construction, and they would have them come in and work in the stores. That was kind of the selling feature, because then you could go in and ask questions like, how do you do this? How do you do that? And they could tell you because they have experience, right? And as a guy who was doing like a lot of stuff, DIY stuff, I love the fact that I could go in and talk to these guys. But I also recognize the fact, because I actually listen to people and talk to people and observe them. When I conversate with them, I try to take them in. I noticed that these guys didn't stop doing construction because they just got tired of doing construction. They stopped doing construction and they were working in these stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, so on and so forth, because they were physically unable to continue to work those jobs, because those are hard freaking jobs. Get a guy who do flooring, or a guy kick rugs. You know, when you put the rug in, you got to make it nice and tight. So they set a thing up and he wedge it into the rug, and they got knees the shit out of it with his knee. He don't have knees after 5-10 years. They need knee replacements. Them guys look like old cowboys that done got stomped out by bulls and horses by the time they ready to retire. Don't sit there and talk shit about these hardworking people. Like they don't have, like their opinions don't, they must be construction workers. Them lovely hands. Get out of here. Get out of here with that foolishness. Get out of here with that bullshit. Them guys work hard. Them people work hard. And I'm saying this as somebody who's been in front of a camera. There's a quote I love from Denzel Washington. He did it was like a round table with actors, and Tom Hanks was on it. I think George Clooney was there. It was a few, like a lot of heavy hitters, like A-list real celebrities. And Denzel Washington took the position. He said, you know what? Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Making a movie, making TV, being an entertainer, this is a privilege. This is not hard. This is a privilege. The fact that I get to sit here and talk to a camera, this is a privilege. Or I study lines, or I take classes so that I can learn to better come out with action or whatever. That's a privilege. That's a privilege. You know what's hard? Sending your kid to war is hard. Putting your kid in the military is hard. Getting up every day, punching a clock is hard. Making movies is a privilege. In Denzel Washington's words, he said, you know what's hard? Being a trash man and a mailman. I did both. I did both. Those are hard jobs. But sit there acting, you get out here and miss me with that bullshit about how hard you had and how hard you work, because you get to work what out of the year, you might have to film for like a couple months at most. And maybe you have long days, and your long day is what, 12 hours? Look, there are people who work healthcare, emergency services, police officers, firefighters who work 12-hour shifts all week, all day. They have to put it, they want to take a break, they got to put in vacations, and none of them making $1 million a season, and not $1 million for doing three months worth of work. Miss me with all that I'm too good bullshit, like you doing something. And this is why, and I'm sorry, I got to get off this shit because it's going to get me mad. This is why when push them down and shove, when you fall off the perch that you set for yourself, nobody's going to cry. Because when you put yourself that high above that many people and you call yourself looking down on regular folks, nobody cries when your ass fall off that little perch that you set up for yourself. And here's your challenge, my man. Here's your challenge. Cause you like talking shit. I'm gonna talk my shit. Here's your challenge. Here's your assignment if you choose to accept it, Kody. You can talk shit about those 3 women and how bad they were and how hard it was early in your relationship. But they struggled with you. You can talk about how connected you are with Robyn and how awesome your relationship is. But here's the one thing. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kody. Correct me if I'm wrong. You ain't never struggled with Robyn. And by struggling, I don't mean like, oh, we didn't have bills. We didn't have the money to pay for certain things, and we couldn't do big time shit like go on vacation for 4-5 months at a time. We couldn't buy like a $2 million house back then. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about struggling. See, you guys were getting paid like mugs. You was getting big money from the start. You guys were making 6 figures. You guys were in the top 1% earners from the time you started the show. It was always there. You started dating Robyn, started messing around with Robyn on the promise that you had a TV show. So this is the equivalent of if you meet a woman in college, and this is before they actually started compensating you for playing ball. You meet a woman in college, you play football. Everybody realizes that your ass is going pro. But right now, you sitting around eating tuna fish sandwiches. And maybe you got this girl or that girl taking you out so you can get something to eat. Maybe help you give you some quarters to wash your clothes. But everybody you come in contact with understands that you are going to be, there's going to come a time when all this poverty shit ends. They understand that when they first start messing with you, when they first start seeking you out. That's the woman that you are with. That's the woman you with. Your real test, my friend, is as you sit there and you blow through $20,000, $30,000 a month in mortgage, as you sit there and you blow through this big purchase and that big purchase, taking out $750,000 worth of HELOC lines of credit, home equity lines of credit. So basically, $750,000 credit card against your home that you have to pay back. And right now, interest rates are high as shit. So I'm assuming that if you take out a HELOC loan, you are going to be paying interest. I mean, it's going to be lower than a credit card, but not by much. Higher than a mortgage. And it's all money you got to pay back. So when you sitting there and you blowing through all that money, and the show ends, because let's be honest, the fact that you guys are on episode 3 of the tell-all and you haven't talked about jack nor shit, since we talking about jack shit, you guys talked about jack shit this whole time because you had nothing during the course of the season. And when I say jack shit, I mean jack shit and Jack just left town. Okay? You guys didn't talk about anything this season. For real, for real. So you're on the long end of a short pier. This show is almost over. And when that $1 million, $2 million check y'all been getting, that shit gets stopped because that's how it works. For those who don't know, in the TV world, especially because you're not union, you don't have residuals. You don't have the back end. I've been looking at the thing. I got to check it again because what you need to try to do is get some production, some production credits on this. If you were smart, that's where you would have negotiated. You would have negotiated a back end on your shit, but you didn't do that. So you just getting a paycheck. So you want your money up front. Cool. You get your money up front. Then guess what happens? When that show ends, your check stop. When your check stop and you try to figure out what to do, maybe you can be nice to David. If you was nice enough to David, maybe he'll hook you up with a job. Maybe he'll let you put some drywall up. You know, you physically fit. Physically fit. Maybe he'll let you put some drywall up. Maybe you could work construction for him. Just saying. But that annoyed the shit out of me. You're gonna look down your nose on some people. I don't understand why the fans don't like me. You know why the fans don't like you, dummy? Because the fans actually work jobs. They work jobs. They punch in clocks. They earn their money. They work hard for their money, damn hard for their money. And your little commentary is disrespectful. I take offense to that shit. That shit, that's just crazy. I'm gonna take a break for a second. Then we're gonna get back into it. But let's talk Megatron with the $5 super chat. Says who the F did their makeup? I've seen better on people about to be buried. And Janelle better slither to the other side where she sees me coming down the aisle. Yeah, right. I tell you what, this is bad. This is bad, no doubt. But the worst was like, I forget the season. I don't know who they had doing the makeup. They had them looking like straight up clowns. Like, I was like, who the hell did this? Do they not like them? Like, who did they piss off in the makeup department? Because they had Kody, he looked terrible. Like, his whole face looked painted. Like, it was, that dude looked like peekaboo. Like, oh shit. Like, I gotta find that tell-all. That tell-all was hilarious. I was like, who the hell? And Kody, his eyebrows was so thick and high. Like, the whole time he's sitting there looking surprised and shit. Like, I couldn't interview him because the whole time I'd be talking to him, like, what? Yeah, man, you know, this dude seeing somebody creeping up on me. It's a bad time. Thank you, Megatron. Let me get a little something. All right. Unlimited lipstick. Member for 8 months. Thank you so much, Janet. Kody didn't like the wives fighting because he didn't want to have to do anything. He compared, triangulated, and showed extreme favoritism. Toxic AF. Yeah. He didn't like the wives fighting because it complicated his life. He took advantage of the wives fighting because it made his situation easier. And we're going to have to talk a little bit about like that whole thing with Janelle coming into the family. But let me give you a little something, unlimited lipstick. Then we had Just Scrapping with the $1.99 super chat. Shout out to Kathy Ferran and the My Take crew. Shout out to Just Scrapping. You know, Just Scrapping. Thank you so much. Let me get a little something. Actually, 1 second. Let me see. This is Just Scrapping joint.
Could be watching chefs burn pots in the kitchen or influencers fake fights for attention. Drama queens with crowns, but no conviction. But now you're here, my addiction. Could've clicked that prank, that mukbang feast, or streams of gamers slaying beats. But you're here with me, not scrolling free, not lost in streams or reality. You're here with me where you wanna be, out the algorithm, just you and me.
All right. Thank you so much, Just Scrapping. Appreciate you. Shout out to Just Scrapping. We're going to be doing a video with that soon. It sent me 3 of them. So we doing a video soon enough. All right. And we had Michelle Woods in the house with the $5 super chat. Kody wouldn't know empathy if it slapped and spitting him in the face. I was feeling empathy and sympathy for these young ladies, trying to understand what was going on with them because I was such a sensitive husband. Yeah, this is some bullshit. I'm telling you, the 3-phase laundry solution and strategy that he's trying to accomplish during the course of this tell-all. This dude is so transparent. I'm telling you, but many of y'all already know. Y'all know. All I'm doing is just calling it out. I'm labeling it. I'm listing it. And I'm just putting it together in one simple package. That's it. That's it. We all see what you're doing, Kody. We all see what you're doing. Like and again, the best example is it's just like Mary said, like we were saying from our initial reaction when we first found out about the apology tour. This apology tour has nothing to do with these women. Let me say that one more again. It has nothing to do with these women. Nothing to do with them at all. He didn't need them there. He could have just had, I mean, you could have had a stand-in sitting there. You could have swapped the ladies out for stunt doubles. They could have been sitting there with some stunts, you know? just filming like the one shot, like from the back of their head over the shoulder shot. I apologize when I said I didn't love you. I was lying. You know, he could have did that shit the whole time. He didn't need them there. You know, and I'm telling you, Mary got shortchanged because everybody else at least got a meal out his ass. Should have made him buy her something to eat. Should have fed my. You don't feed me. And we know we not going no bullshit ass restaurant. We going to a steak place, you know. Ruth Chris, $100 for 2 people, at least 2 bills. Hell, the way the beef is costing now, 3 bills. You know what I mean? What would you like? We're gonna start off with the sirloin steak tips. We're gonna have some of these. I would like a porterhouse, a T-bone. And give me a New York strip. Just put 2 of those in a to go bag. I'm eating all week off your ass. Thank you so much, Michelle Woods. Appreciate you. Michelle Woods. Oh, man. So crazy. It's Megatron with the $5 super chat. Scrap the tell-all and do a live and let viewers call in and get their 2 minutes to ask questions. TLC, we sick of the nonsense. Y'all showing us it's hashtag insulting. It's insulting. It's insulting. Because the way they're doing it, and this is carefully curated bullshit, because the way they're doing it, they're not actually talking about or addressing anything for real, for real. Like you're talking about, like at this point, talking about the early days of their relationship in relationships that are no longer together. Why? Why? I mean, there's definitely a reason why you talk about Janelle coming into the family. Janelle too silly to understand that this was all curated to make you look bad. It was all curated to make the backdoor deal. Janelle basically came in according, like the way you could frame this. If you had a little bit of creativity, a little bit of time, and a good post, you could frame it that Janelle's actually the one that came in and split the family up. She's the first one that created discord in the family. She married basically, even with the story that she told, like, you know, basically I saw Kody and all of a sudden I wanted him to be the father of my children. And this is the first time you saw him. You're fresh off a divorce in Mary's brother. You see Mary's husband. And you talking about, no, actually, you still would have been married to, no, strike that, bump that. Because you were with Mary's brother at their wedding. So technically, the first time you saw Kody, you were still married to her brother. Can we back that all the way up? First time I saw Kody, I was feeling the thunderclapper in my trapper, and I said he gonna be the father of my children. But first, I gotta get rid of that asshole. Like, yo, what? And you wonder why Mary? I don't know why I couldn't get along with Mary. We was arguing over dumb stuff. No, y'all was arguing because she couldn't, like the stupidest part. Oh, you don't understand polygamy, James. Let's see if I get this part. The reason why you were arguing about dumb shit, if I had to hazard a guess, is because of the way your religion, your cult, or whatever, however you want to term it. The reason she couldn't tell you why she was mad and articulate the reason why she was mad is because it goes against practice. You guys teach them that they can't say shit. If you feel something that's unnatural, that you mad, or you're doing something which would make me uncomfortable. That's basically what it is. If you do something to make me uncomfortable, or you feel something that is inconvenient for me, you're messing up. You're making a mistake. And this is why back in the day, you can go back and check my record. When I said the whole idea or concept that they have to get permission from the wives for other women to come into the family was complete, utter, and total bullshit. The reason why is exactly what Mary said tonight. You just got to read between the lines. It's exactly what she said tonight. If she said she was jealous or she felt a certain kind of way because this woman was married to her brother, and when she first saw Kody, while she's married to my brother, she said that she wanted to start having his kids. And this is at the time, I guess that was her boyfriend or fiance, Mary's boyfriend or fiance. And Janelle's already placing designs on this dude, and you're still married to her brother. And she say she feels a certain kind of way about it. And in the second she say, I feel a certain kind of way about it, I don't feel like she should come into the family. I don't feel like this is something we should do. Girl, you need to work on yourself. What is wrong with you, you jealous, evil woman? See, this is the problem. I am going to marry Janelle, and you're going to grow and become better after I do it. I'm not marrying Janelle because I like the wagon she dragging. I'm married, or I like the way I like the twist of them hips and the cuteness of her lips. I'm not marrying her for that. I'm marrying her because I want to make you better. What kind of pimp shit is that? Girl, I'm not cheating for you. I'm cheating for us. I'm not cheating for me. I'm cheating for us. I'm sleeping with your friend to make you better. You don't see, that's the problem, woman. You don't appreciate my sacrifices. What kind of ding dong pimp shit is this? Girl, you jealous, and I'm gonna try to get you into heaven. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna marry your sister-in-law. Then we're gonna live in a little tiny ass trailer with paper thin ass walls, and I'm gonna just be slamming her ass against the wall. I'm gonna pick her ass up, and we just gonna bounce off of each one of these walls in this room. She gonna be in there hooping and hollering, acting like I'm in there killing her. And you gonna get to sit there in your room and listen to me. Because I'm making you better. I said this shit. I said this shit. And of course, Kody, oh, you don't understand how polygamy works. And Janelle would sit there and argue, you don't understand how polygamy works. That's not like that in all the families. No, not in all families. It's like that in yours. You wonder why Mary was mad? Oh, they was going to get married on my birthday. Well, they had to because it was her birthday and it was like a special time. Apparently, they didn't because they didn't get married on Mary's birthday. Apparently, it sounds like to me. That's what she was saying. They didn't get married on her birthday. In fact, let me look it up. Mary's birthday, January 16th. When did Kody and Janelle get married? January 17th. January 17th or January 20th? Oh, so they didn't have to do it on her birthday. And it does make sense that, I mean, the fact is, here's the thing too. And this goes back to what I was saying before. The crazy thing with this whole mindset, Mary probably was complaining to her mom. Her mom told her to shut up and take it because this is the way of the world and she needs to be better as a human being and as a woman. Mary had to go to Kody's mother and get Kody's mom to intervene. Could you imagine that shit? And you wonder why Mary's mad? I'll be mad too. Just a scotch. I'll be mad too. Because again, I don't give a shit. I know people, oh, well, you don't understand the inner workings of polygamy. I don't need to. I like to think that I have a better understanding of people. And I just know from my perspective that if me and my wife were to get divorced, and then a year after we got divorced, I found out she was messing around with my brother or a friend of mine. My first damn question, I've said this before, how long this shit been going on? Because I would refuse to, you couldn't tell me that, oh man, you was gone for a year and, we were sitting and talking, watching a movie and some things happened, the song came on and we just started dancing. Next thing you know, we was on a lap attack. Like, no. Y'all, y'all been looking at each other plotting for a while now. Especially Janelle just admitted it. Like, oh, when I first saw him, I was like, yeah, this is my dude. I'm supposed to be in a family, whatever the hell. I mean, I like how the religious people put a spin on it. Like, I looked at her and I saw she was small in the waist, cute in the face. She had her own place, won't spay me with mace. And I said to myself, the Lord. Right? Whereas normal parlance, I saw that and I was like, damn, son. I need some of that in my life. I need that to make my life, son. Life is love, boy. Woo! She killing the game. But they gotta be better than everybody else, more holy, sanctimonious. I feel as though I saw them in the eternal life, in the eternal pasture. And we were bound together through history and experience. When all you really mean is, damn, son. I was hit with a thunderbolt. Nah, you had a little stir in your pants. That's what that was. Maybe that's how they explain puberty. Like when they had a boy, the birds and the bees conversation, you'll know your love and you'll know your special time has come to unite with a person and make a life when you feel the thunderbolt. Whereas normally it was like, look, an average person, you sit down with your kids and like, you're going to start growing hair in funny places and you're going to start liking people. The people you thought are disgusting today because you got girl cooties and germs and all that, boy cooties, all of a sudden they're going to become really interesting. You're going to start having funny feelings. We don't talk about like you catching a thunderbolt, like you're not being electrocuted because you jonesing for something, But thank you so much, Megatron. Appreciate you. And I agree with her position. Like it would be more interesting to see like a viewer's take, like they call in and leave their perspective. TLC would never have that happen because you can't control what the viewers are going to say. And the viewers are going to mess around and ask real questions. Ain't nobody going back like, tell me how you felt when you was like in third grade. Like the equivalent of what they did tonight would be, Robyn, when you first met Preston, tell me how you felt. Was it where, you know what I mean? When you saw Preston and he took off his shirt, were you aroused? Like nobody is doing that. That'd be like disgusting. That'd be weird. It'd be weird. It would be weird. She hasn't been with Preston for so long. Her first husband, she hasn't been with him for so long. Were you aroused? Like that would be crazy. Did you love her? Tell the truth. Like it would be crazy to be asking about somebody's ex like that. But that's what we watched tonight. Like these people aren't even together anymore. I can see if they were like rekindling their relationship or their relationships never broke up and they were still together. Tell us what it was like when you guys first met each other and you started digging on one another. That might be a question. Still a little weird after like 20 seasons on a show. Still a little weird. But y'all been broke up for 5 years now. You've been broke up for 5 years. Tell me what happened 30 years ago. Why? Why would I? And that's how you also know that they don't have shit to talk about. Because any normal person, Kody gets offended by so many other types of questions. You're not offended by this. I would be offended by this. Why are we talking about 30 years ago with my exes? I would never sit there and talk about what I will be going through with an ex. If I'm sitting there, I'm married. I can't be talking about how did you feel when you saw that booty. Did you think about what that booty do? Like nobody, man, you will get slapped in the mouth talking that wild shit to me. Are you crazy? My lady's sitting right here. And even if she's not sitting here, I'm gonna have to go home with it. I ain't going for no longest drive ever. You sitting there just driving home and shit, just looking straight ahead, and she's sitting there staring me in the side of my face the whole way home because I want to talk about how I felt when 30 years ago when I first met my other person. What? Man, you can miss me with that Scooby-Doo ass trick, that Scooby-Doo ass trap. Are you crazy? Not having that conversation. What do you think? I'm new? What? I gotta go home and get. I'm gonna go home and get the doors and shit just be slamming in my house. No, hell no. What did you feel about it 30 years ago? None of your damn business. I don't even remember. That's what I was. I don't even remember because it would be true. Like I don't know. It's just such a weird. They are so weird. But thank you so much, Megatron. Appreciate you. Weirdos. Love Soka. What's going on, Love Soka? Remember for 11 months. Holla at your boy. I hope the rumors of Janelle leaving are true. Her true colors are showing, and the luster of her reputation is suffering. Go back to Kody. Woo! This is actually Love Soka. Truth bomb. Okay, wait, where's my? Did I have a truth bomb in there? Do I have a truth bomb loaded up? I don't. But I tell you what, that Love Soka. Yeah. The one thing that I will say is that this tell-all, like Janelle was probably the most comfortable I've seen her on a tell-all, but at the same time, like the subject matters that they have in her covering and the way she's talking about it have her looking crazy as cat shit. Like you're sitting there saying, like, you don't understand, like it's like you don't understand people's emotions. You don't understand why that would be a complication. Like if you saw somebody, because the heart wants what the heart wants. And you might look at somebody and be like, damn, son. But at the same time, you know, we're people. I know they like to compare themselves all the time. Like I used to listen to Kody compare himself to like animals and shit all the time. Like, you know, lions are polygamists and rhinos are polygamists, and this is the polygamist and the animal kingdom polygamist. I hear that bullshit all the time. But here's the big difference between people and animals. We have control. We're expected to have control. Like just because a woman walked past and you catch a scent of it don't mean you can jump on her back. Right? She in heat. I could get it now. That's not a thing. That's how you go to prison. That's how you wind up in the prison. And then you'll be walking by throwing off your scent and people be trying to jump on your back. Okay. So there's certain standards as a functioning human being and a fully developed human being in a functioning society. There are certain standards we have. And part of those standards is you could look at somebody, want somebody, find somebody desirable, and then take your ass home. That's a thing. But the way they describe it is like it's uncontrollable. Like you don't have any power over it. So if somebody saw Robyn and they couldn't control themselves, do they get to blow her phone up even though she's turning them down, supposedly? Kody, would you feel comfortable with that? You need to get up out of Kody's family and come over this way. I could do you right, Robyn. You and your 5 kids and all that debt. I mean, Trapper leave little dollar bills out. Scooby-Doo ass trap. Scooby-Doo ass mousetrap. Got her. Right? Pull up in a Porsche. Like it wouldn't be inappropriate. And like same, if you're a married man, it's not appropriate for you to like I like, you know, if I'm gonna be honest, like I'm gonna be critical of myself. I am the type of person who I go out if I'm in a public setting, I will be out and lively and the person floating around the room talking to everybody and stuff, smiling, you know, the whole nine, smiling at people's faces the whole time, right? But you recognize the limitation. You recognize that I got somebody, and whether they're there or not, I respect my relationship. So I don't, you know, people might, you know, be feeling it. You know, whoa. Shit get us both. We're both turned up busy. We both be on the back of a milk cart like she don't play that shit. So just respecting your stuff. But this dude, like, according to Kody, even you going, you smiling, you're actively flirting with other people as a married man. Oh, that's disgusting when married men do that. That's what you did with Robyn, admittedly. Looking over your shoulder, staring in her face. And we said it was disgusting when they were doing it. Now, Robyn, if we're going to be all the way fair, and I know some people are going to get a little tight when I say this, but we're going to be all the way fair. Janelle says she did the same shit. She saw Kody. She was interested in Kody. They admitted in the book that she was going out to lunches with him. Didn't seem like that big a deal because at the time everybody was like, that's just how they do it. But now it's just a bad look, man. It's a bad look. Then the backdoor deal, and like she's just taking like shot after shot after shot. It just is bad. Like this is probably Janelle's worst showing for season wise, hands down. Like I would even say, as far as like TLC is concerned, I think they're actually the same way they're trying to rehabilitate Kody's image. I think that they're actively trying to destroy Janelle's. And Janelle needs to be careful because they're actively trying to destroy you. Because a lot of the stuff, they don't put shit like this out about Kody. Kody never would have. If Kody did a backdoor deal and he presented it and he said it, because Kody now is saying that you came over, it's on you, you did it. But if it would have just been Kody and Robyn, they could have had them on video saying the shit. We gonna rip these heifers off, take them for everything they got. The camera, right? They could have caught all that shit on tape. And they never would have let them play it on TLC, ever. That never would have saw the light of day. Janelle is like they dig her in a hole, they throw in the pit, and then instead of throwing down a rope or a line to save her, they just throw a shovel in there and be like, get the digging. And I don't know. And the way she's going, like, bruh, I get it. Everybody think they strong enough to be the villain, but are you really? Because so much of the stuff that you're trying to do is reliant on your positive image from the show. Taita Farms relies on your positive image from the show. That seminar that you're trying to teach for parents who have been cut off by their kids relies on your positive image from the show. They will destroy you if you stay on the show because they already set the trajectory. This is you've been given basically, you're like a person who's at work and your job tells you we're gonna fire your ass. You've been warned. Okay, you're fired. And like, we can't let her go. Damn it. Like, you know what that means. Like, you know that your time on that job is short as shit. It's shorter than a kindergarten standing in a ditch. So you need to start looking for something else. Because your time at that place is not long. Your time at Sister Wives is not long. My only question is, to Love Soka's point, do you guys think that Janelle told them that she doesn't want to do the show anymore? And so this is actually TLC's form of retribution against Janelle? Like, it's, oh, you don't want to be on the show? Oh, you don't want to do the show no more? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Oh, so you want to play. All right, got you. Do you think that there's a let me matter of fact, let's do a poll. Do you think Janelle told TLC that she doesn't want to do the show and TLC is now retaliating? Let's drop it. Let me know what you guys think. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think. Because I would say this. It's not unlikely that they would do that shit. Okay. Oh, you want to go. Think about like regular 9-to-5 jobs. They could do that. You go in there like one of the more dangerous times that you have is when you tell them that you want to leave. I knew, matter of fact, story time. I knew I won't say what company I was working for, but there was a young lady. She went out and got her doctorate in nursing while she was working, right? And she worked in the litigation department of a particular company that I'm thinking about. Uh, and she used to do the medical evaluations, like, you know, when things would come in, she could do the medical evaluations. And she got her doctorate in nursing, right? And when she finished school, graduated, she put in her 2 weeks notice, and because she had achieved another position, and they were going to pay the shit out of her. Like her paycheck, her pay, like she was already making a good amount of money. Like no bullshit. She was doing well. But they were talking about doubling, if not tripling her salary at this other place. When she turned in her notice that she wanted to leave, the supervisor asked her, "Where are you going?" She told him, "I'm getting," she's happy as shit. She's proud of herself. "I'm going to such and such place, blah, blah, blah." Don't you know? They went in and they, oh, okay. They went into the office, called the company and the hiring manager, HR people, and the company that we work for was a big company, right? Lot of power, a lot of money. They said, "We still need her." So we would consider it a favor if you did, give her the job. Like we don't mind she get the job, but just for right now, we need her. They kept her. I won't even say kept her. They held her ass hostage because it's not like they said, "Okay, we're going to pay you what you would have got paid to start at this new place. We're going to match that salary." No, they didn't. Same salary, same money, everything. Same hours, same everything. They just stopped her from going to the next job. Like these jobs can be like, they can be petty. I've seen some petty shit. I'm telling you, I've seen some petty shit. And it would not be surprising to me that they would do that. Somebody say, "Isn't that illegal?" They didn't tell her not to hire her. They just talked to her, person to person, manager to manager, and say, "Wow, we still need her." And the other company decided that they weren't going to bring her on. Is it illegal? No. If she would have quit, there's a strong possibility that, like, if she would have like playing a political game, there's a strong possibility if she would have called up the our job and said, "Yo, you did this, you played me dirty. I quit. I'm gonna go work at the other place." That offer could have been rescinded because they don't. If they offer you a job, I live in a at will state, meaning they can fire you for whatever reason, as long as it's not discriminatory. Like as long as they don't, fire her and say, "Well, we're not gonna hire you because you're a woman, or because you're this race or that race or ethnicity or sexual orientation or whatever," they're good to go. So, and you need somebody to go in there and testify that it prevented her from getting a job. Like it's a whole bunch of steps that you do. But yeah, yeah. Now I'm not saying you can't tell people that you leave and don't give them time. I'm just saying that, keep your information to yourself. You know, oh, well, especially if the like, well, I had something similar because I left one job and I got recruited by another job, and they were the client. So technically, they were pissed that I was leaving because they really liked having me there. They like what I was doing, but it's the client. So the client wants you, you gotta go. All right, well, we'll give them to you. But they made me work on all their stuff. I liaised back to the place where I was from. But yeah, I wonder. I don't know. Because it was a sharp change. Like all of a sudden, like it seemed like they were dead ass about getting Janelle's ass. So I don't know. But all right, Love Soka, thank you so much. Let's see. Do we have Brittany Not Brittany with the $4.99 super chat? Said I bet David could cut a tree down without wrecking his roof. Yeah, right. You know how David will cut his tree down by not wrecking his roof? He'll hire somebody. Because that's the one thing when you're a professional, you recognize the professionalism, skill, and skill and knowledge that goes into doing a certain job, and you recognize that you probably don't have that same prerequisite to do the job. So you're probably smart enough to be like, you know what? Yeah, that shit is dangerous. And why am I gonna kill myself out here trying to cut a tree down when I don't have to? You know, especially you making as much money as you are. There's no reason why Kody is like it, and the trees that he's cutting down, he could actually have some like there's companies that, especially in Arizona, that to my understanding, there are companies that actually would have paid him to come out and cut his trees now, take his trees. So he's a lunatic. I still think he was selling those trees. But let's see. I bet David could have cut down a tree without wrecking his roof. Kody just mad because there's a real man on the show now that's not one of his sons. Yeah, right. He can't take credit for him. I raised him. He's my progeny. Like he can't do that. That shit. Then the fact that you got somebody on the show because you've never really had like, and this is a new dynamic for Sister Wives. You've never had especially another man on the show calling out Kody. The way they've always kind of done it is that, you know, the ladies' points are valid, like their observations are valid, not saying that they aren't, but you can always try to diminish like Jen or, you know, Janelle's friends or Christine's friends when they criticize Kody. Oh, those are just women talking. They don't understand how difficult it is for a man. The same way they talk about polygamy. You don't know what it's like to be a polygamist because you're a monogamist. You don't understand these things. It's so difficult to understand. You just got to be in the shoes. You don't know what it's like. And I think that was a thing that, like, one of the things that they kind of hung their hats on. But with David being present, talking about Kody and saying from a man's perspective and from a guy's point of view, he's wrong. I'm in his position. I'm telling you that he's wrong. Then all of a sudden, it takes on a different. The reason why it feels a little different because it is a little different. And this is the first time he's actually had somebody on the show, another guy on the show calling him out, especially somebody whom he can't just go to the production team and say, I don't want him on the show anymore. Because David, I think Kody and Robyn still have a tremendous amount of pull, but I don't think that they have the level of pull with other co-star situations, especially somebody as popular as Christine. So it's a lot harder for him just to go and say, I don't want him on the show anymore. I don't want him featured. He's popular. So Kody, what do you want to do? Do you not want to be on the show anymore? I won't do the show with him. So you quit. Yeah, I mean, he's in that situation. Thank you so much, Brittany. Michelle Woods in the house with a $10 super chat. Christine said those famous words. What does the nanny do? She should have said, what does Kody really do? Sadly, she realized it too late and missed a lot of years losing herself. Yeah. And that's one of the actual, for me, that's one of the tragedies of this whole thing. That's one of the tragedies of this whole thing is that it's not just the fact that they were mistreated. Like it's, you know, when you are the victim, and I'm not using that as a derogatory term. It's just more accurately uh placed. When you're the victim of oppression, right? There is a point in oppression where the those that are oppressing you have to take an active role in diminishing you and crushing you down. There becomes a point, and this is one of the sadder aspects of it. There becomes a point in that oppression where you begin to diminish and oppress yourself. And one of the sad things is that in order for Christine, Mary, and Janelle to participate in this relationship long term, their oppression became automatic. They started doing it to themselves. And even worse, they started doing it to each other. So Kody could take his hands off the wheel and sit back and pretend like he has nothing to do with it. Oh, that's just them disagreeing. That's just them arguing. That's them. I don't have nothing to do with it. That's them. But they're doing it because that's what you've trained them to do. You've taught them that this is how the relationship will function. And it's not a bug, it's a feature of the relationship that you have. So I think that, like, in addition to it being so many years, it's also the fact that there's a lot of um self-flagellation because you it's some on some level you recognize that, you know, it's not you did it to yourself, so therefore you deserve it. It's you are a participant in your own subjugation. And I think that that's where, like, Christine, Mary, and Janelle are. Like, if you really step back and think about it, like in a lot of abusive relationships, you know, that's where that's where the disconnect happens too. Like, because there'll always be people who say, "Well, I don't understand. Like, if the shit was that bad, why didn't you just leave?" Like, if they run up in your mouth and you don't like it, why didn't you just leave? Like, they would go to work, you'd be home by yourself. You could have just left. Why didn't you leave? Because the other component where they put mental constraints on you and they have you hobble yourself, and you prevent you from being able to leave or express yourself, because they teach you that if you feel like you're being your oppression and your suffering, that's making you a better person. Your participation in these types of relationship, even though it's killing your self-esteem, killing your security, making you feel like you're less than and everything else, guess what? That's what's necessary in order for you to improve as a person. And if you are feeling jealous, if you are feeling like you're being mistreated, it's not because I'm doing something wrong. It's because you haven't evolved enough. You aren't enough. You have to get better. It is that kind of mentality that I think feeds into, like, them staying for so long. So when we say, like, I understand the frustration. Why don't they just leave? Why don't they just cut his ass off, cuss him out, and be done with it? Because you can't just break those chains. Like, you can break physical chains, you can break physical barriers, you can knock down walls and shit. But when you've imprisoned somebody's mind, you've enslaved their mind, you've subjugated their mind, that's way more powerful than any chain. And they'll get to a point where not only will you subjugate yourself, but like I said, with Mary's mom, you know, when she would go to Mary would go to her mom and complain about the shit that Kody was doing, her mom would tell her, like, look, what are you talking about? You upset. You got to go home and pray. Mary did that to Christine. I'm tired of Kody. They were sitting on when Mary almost broke a leg skiing, and Kody just shot past her. Oh no, you got hurt. Right? And she twisted her knee up. And Christine went over and was like, I'm tired of Kody and I'm tired of being treated like this. And Mary said, you got to work on you. It's not on him. You can't go to him with your problems. You need to work on yourself. That's not something she just did. That's something she learned from from being a part of this group and her culture. So, I mean, that, like, I think that that's the part that, like, the time is the time, but, which I agree with. Like, I think that when you look back and you be like, shit, I spent 20 years with this asshole. Like, what was I thinking? Best years of my life. Like, I could have been clubbing, I could have been partying, body on point, I'm trying to put it back. I'm trying to pick the pieces up and put it back together. But back then, I had the whole picture. You understand what I mean? And I wasted it all on this person who didn't appreciate it. And I think that that hurts too when you look back and you realize, like, what you could have had. Like, had Christine, like, because I get that too. Like, I wouldn't trade my relationship with Kody for anything in the world, because I wouldn't have what I have now had I not been with him. That might be true. But imagine how much more you could have had you had a partner like David from the start. Just throwing that out there. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do that shit too. You make stupid mistakes, or you do dumb shit back when you were younger, and you try to find sense in it. You try to find reason. Like, oh, I needed to go through that so I could be better for now. But there's a part of me that look at it and say, I would have been all right if I wouldn't have went through all that tough shit. I would have been okay if those people wouldn't have betrayed me or whatever. But thank you so much, Michelle Woods. I appreciate it. Michelle Woods in the house. Then we had a Megatron with the $2 super chat. If Christine had any sense, she would do away with Janelle too. You know what? I don't know, like, because Christine be quiet. She be quiet. Like, when they be talking about Janelle, I think that her wheels are turning. Like, because she be like, really? And I noticed that they didn't talk about they didn't ask Christine anything about, like, when Janelle first came into the family, which is also weird because, like, as a for instance, they didn't ask Christine, well, what do you think? Because she was there early on with Christine, or Mary and Janelle. So it's not like she wasn't around early on with them. And they said they didn't ask Christine, but when it came time to talk about Mary and her troubles with having children, Robyn said, oh yeah, when we got pregnant, we would all go to Mary and tell her how we were pregnant first, so that way she could process it, etc., etc. How would you know? How would you know? The only child that you potentially, probably, maybe could have been around for was Truly and your kids. Maybe Truly. But I don't see Christine coming out and be like, oh, let me tell you, I went and told Mary first because, blah, 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 blah. So that was weird. Like, you let Robyn comment on a time in which she was never a part of, because the kids were damn near, like, Logan and them was damn near grown by the time Robyn came into the family. So that's weird. And then when it was time for you to talk about something that Christine would have been familiar with, how Mary was early on in a relationship with Janelle and everything, they didn't even ask her. So there seems like there's definitely a pullback. So we'll keep it, keep an eye on that. But good point, Megatron. Then we have a extraordinary machine. Remember, for 9 months, little bit of Wicked. Love the expression on Christine's face watching the footage of Mary telling Kody off. Yeah, right. She's like, woo! Like, the only thing that kind of hurts me a little bit with that whole thing is that Christine was like, oh shit, he put her thing down. Christine, would you say the same thing? Would you think you could do it? She ain't even wolfed up. They call it selling wolf tickets. She ain't even sell no wolf tickets. Like, yeah, I'd have told Kody, like, I looked him in the face. I looked him in the face. I said, F you, sucker. Oh no, here come Kody. I mean, she didn't even do that. So but I think she was impressed with like the fact that Mary wasn't taking no gruff. And Mary was, being more direct than anybody during that. And they I guess they try to build it as like Mary's just confrontational. She's mean and nasty because she's confrontational. But she stood up for herself. And the fact that you guys can't handle somebody like that, I don't know. Like there's that part too. That it's like I think like especially in the manosphere, there's a sentiment that women are too talkative or they have too much opinions and they're modern women and they independent women and they destroying the world and that's why society's falling apart. And there's a part of me that honestly believes that if you are a man and you can't handle someone, particularly if that someone is a woman, you can't handle the fact that they have an opinion, that's not a them problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. If I say something and somebody disagrees with me, I don't have a problem with somebody disagreeing with what I say. In fact, I enjoy it. Like if you disagree with me, cool. We could disagree all day and I'll listen to what you have to say. And I hope that you listen to what I have to say. You give me your perspective, I give you my perspective. And somewhere in the middle, maybe we'll figure out what the best approach is. I think that actually makes us stronger, not only just stronger relationships or stronger people, but I think that if you have a goal, like as a family that you want to achieve, that actually makes your goals more achievable because you're banging out the dents. Like, because I might not have a perfect plan, but if I say to my wife, like, hey, babe, I want to try blah, 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 and she look at me and say, yeah, James, that shit ain't gonna work. And, and I say, why is it gonna work? And then she runs through her reasons. That prompts me not to get mad that you doubt me, you question me. That's the problem. You the independent woman trying to be modern. You destroying the family. No, that gives me the opportunity to say, look, this is why I think what I think. Boom, 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 boom. Why do you think what you think? She gives her reasons. Tick, 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 tick. Okay, let's take it in order. How will I address this issue? Boom, 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 boom. How will I address that issue? Boom, 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 boom. How do I address this issue? Boom, 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 boom. And then she gets to come back and say, I hear what you're saying, but that shit ain't gonna work because of that, but that. And then sometimes, dare I say, I go, shit, you right. I didn't even think about it. Damn. Okay. I didn't even think about it like that. And you know what that does? That prevents me from making an error in judgment because I trust like, especially if you have a partner, I trust my partner. I trust what she had to say. I don't think that she doesn't, she's hating on me, trying to keep me from greatness. She wanted the ops. I don't think that that's the case at all. I think that she wants the best for me. And in order for me to get the best outcomes, she may have to challenge me at some points. And when she challenges me at some points, I have to respond in kind by saying that this is why we need to do blah, 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 blah. And that only makes us stronger as a unit. Now, if you can't handle that shit in your relationship, that's not I'm a weak guy and I'm a simp or whatever. That's you a punk ass. And you need to man, I'm about to cuss, but you need to man up. You need to get your shit together. You need to mature a little bit more because you're never going to get anything you need out of life by getting everything you want the way you want it. because nobody's perfect. I love when people say that in terms of they do something wrong, then you can't judge me. And by the way, nobody perfect. Everybody make mistakes. But then when it comes time for you to make a decision or a plan or a strategy on how you want to move within your family, then all of a sudden your opinions are beyond reproach. You can't tell me shit. I know everything. I don't make no mistakes. So when you make a mistake, you human and you're a person. We do what you want and it blows up in our face. You ruin the family's finances. Everybody's human. But when you came to me and I say the shit wouldn't work, it shut up because I'm better than you and you don't know what you're talking about. Come on now. Pick a lane. Pick a lane, sir. But I did like that. And Mary was sitting there. She was flossing a little bit. She had that Kool-Aid smile. She was cheesing. As well she should have. Because that was a good performance. That was a good performance. Thank you, Extraordinary Machine. Yeah, but Extraordinary Machine. Then we had Just Scrapping with the $49.99 Super Duper Charata. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Just Scrapping. She blessed me with not one, not two, but 3 joints, 3 smokers. 3 smokers. Those songs were so crazy. I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, y'all get that shit. Like, this is so good. I don't know what to do. I don't even know. Woo! I don't know what to do with this. I always said if I had some hot shit, I would do. But woo, this is too hot for TV. But thank you so much, Just Scrapping. I appreciate you. I really do. We'll get a little something. Yeah, she gave me 3 bangers. 3 of them. I was like, damn. I was playing with my kids. One of them I was thinking about, like, because I was my son, he was interested in starting a channel. And I was like, oh, that might be a cool song. Like, we were going to do something together. Because he wanted to do some stuff. And I was like, we could do, because we watched, there's a movie called Running Man that just came out. They re-released it. It's based off of old Stephen King short story. And they re-released the movie with a new guy, good-looking cat. I don't know his name. I've seen him in other films. And I was like, we watched that one. And then I was like, well, if you watched that, we sat and watched it. Had a family movie night, sat and watched that. I was like, if you watch that, then we gotta watch the old Arnold one. You know what I mean? We gotta watch the classic one, the original. So we watched it, and I was like, we did a compare and contrast, and I just got his perspective, and he was very insightful. So I was like, that actually might be interesting because he was talking about doing some stuff. But I think one of the songs might actually fit into that. But thank you so much, Just Scrapping. I appreciate you. Awesome. Fantastical. But Marie H with the $5 super chat said Suki actually thinks this shit show will carry on for several more seasons. Really? Wow. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I guess technically, TLC could just keep pouring money into this bullshit. So that's possible. I don't know what in the world they're going to talk about, because right now they don't have anything that they're talking about, because they're just kind of sitting there like I said, if you're going back to how you felt when you first met your ex, really? That's what we doing? Yeah, and I would be hesitant, especially if I was Mary or Janelle. I would be hesitant. It's insulting for David, but I think that it's more like preservation, self-preservation for Mary and Janelle. Because as single people, you're going to go back to, excuse me, as a single person, you're going to go back to, you know, how you felt about your ex. And it's too easy for you for that to be construed into, oh, you still into him, you still digging him. That's why you still trying to hold on to this and the feelings that you have, because you haven't let it go yet. And that's why I would never, like, no, especially as a single person. Like, oh, you know, James, you've been married for a long time. Y'all not together no more. Why don't you tell me about how you felt when you first met her? No, thank you. I mean, that's private. That's something that I don't want to discuss, especially if I don't have her anymore. Like, I don't want to talk about that. How did you feel when you saw her walk in? You know what I mean? Because I remember when I first saw my wife. Like, I remember when I first saw her, when we first met. You know, I joke around with her all the time about like that. But you know, I would never, like, if we weren't together, I would never tell that story. Because I, you know, especially it'd be too sad. Like, I think it'd be sad to tell that story. Like, oh yeah, you know, you should have saw the one I had, boy, lost her. Because I was trying to be like Kody Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would feel like an idiot. Feel like an idiot. So she thought this show will carry on for several more seasons. Suki must be smoking the good stuff. She must be having one of them left-hand cigarette moments. Devil's lettuce. Marijuana. You understand what I'm like? What are you on, Suki? Like, I understand you get up and you say that you can't ask a real question, but damn it, you can give a real opinion. All right. You can give a real opinion. I think this show will be on for at least 10 more seasons. Are you insane? Unless you start taking like Megatron suggestions, unless you start, maybe you got like a contract that we don't know about with the kids or something, but you are not like, oh, they're going to do a wedding special with Aurora. The Aurora wedding special. Her and I'm about to call him Brick. Brody. See, that's the thing right there. That's the problem. I can't even remember the boy's name because I don't care. Like, that's not a season. I don't know. Marie H. Let me give you a little something. That's hilarious. That's awesome. Yeah, is that why Kody bought that $2.1 million house, took out a $750,000 HELOC because he was listening to fucking Suki? The same way he mad at Janelle for being his financial planner, he's gonna be pissed at Suki when this shit get canceled. What do you mean it's canceled? Suki promised me that it would last forever. That's why I took out a $750,000 HELOC loan. That's what you call giving your house back. Allison Gaynor said, miss me with that Aurora shit. That Aurora-ish. It's almost like I feel bad for Suki. Like, oh, Suki. No. You know, as they say down south, oh, bless her heart. Bless her heart. Ooh, bless her heart. She think that this show gonna last several more seasons. You so special. Okay. Just scrapping. If you want more music to use, James, free, let me know. I'm letting you know. Just scrapping. Be dropping some bangers, some head knockers. So yeah. Yes, please. More of that. Yes, please. Oh, fantastic. Yes. That's my shoe for $5. That reminds me of Eddie Murphy. You fall down the steps. Ah, my shoe. The only thing worse than this tell-all is the fact that I sat home and watched it on my Medicare birthday. Yes, I made myself a cake. Well, happy dang on birthday. It's on my Medicare birthday. Like, you know what? And that's actually one of the things that I was looking at because I'm paying for the service so I can see the Sunday night show. And I'm not gonna lie, like there was a time like season 17, 18, I wasn't paying as much actually. And it was actually pretty good. Like season 17 was like one of the highlight seasons of the series. And I wasn't paying nowhere near what I'm paying now to watch it. And I didn't even think about it. But now, like every week when I sit down and watch this show, I think about that shit. And in case TLC interns, this is for y'all. In case you didn't know, that's always a bad look. Like if I go to a fine restaurant and I have a killer meal and a check comes, I might be like, damn, that's a lot, especially now, everything is so expensive. Like, whoa. But you know what? That shit was worth it. If I'm eating my food during the time I'm eating my food before I get my check, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, this was a damn waste of time. I know I'm not going to feel better when that check comes. And that's kind of where I'm at with TLC. Like, I think about it and I watch the money go out of my account and I feel bad about it. And then when I sit and watch the show, I'm like, this ain't even worth it. This ain't even worth it. Back when the show, like season 16, 17, all the way through like season 18, I could watch the show come out on Sunday. I had all day Sunday to watch it. Now you telling me I got to watch it at a specific time and only some of the people can see it at a certain time. And then everybody else got to wait till Monday to maybe see it. And it's terrible. Y'all messing up. Y'all messing up. And then sooner or later, like so many people, like Medicare, that's my shoe. She's talking about I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I feel bad for watching it. There's a lot of people who stop watching the show. That shit should scare you too. But who am I? You don't want to listen to me. But let's go to the poll. I was wondering what this poll was saying. Let's see. Do you think Janelle told TLC that she doesn't want to do the show and TLC is now retaliating? 33% of you said, nah, they wouldn't do that. 67, or she's just a horrible person. She does her true colors are showing. Your true colors shining through. 67% of you said yes. TLC is definitely, got their feet firmly planted in Janelle's ass on purpose. Oh, you talking about leaving me? Which would be on brand too, like for like the production side of like a Kody relationship. Oh, you think you leaving me? Not today, girl. Brittany, not Brittany, with the $4.99 super chat said, and Janelle want to talk about Mary nitpicking over dishes. You gonna divorce my brother, marry my husband, and have audacity to be a messy asshole. Girl, you gonna come into my house, disrupt my whole situation, and you think it's over dishes. You are not smarter than a fifth grader. Like, that is crazy. It's crazy work. That is crazy work. Especially, good on Mary for finally putting it where the goats could get it. But the ironic part is, and again, this is one of those things like we're kind of seeing in some of the previous comments. This is kind of one of those things I'm talking about. This thing that Mary is saying now is something that the fans and audience members have been saying for years. This is not new. This is not a new conversation. The only thing new about it is it's actually coming from the stage from one of the cast members. That's the only thing that's new about it. This entire commentary about how Janelle came into the family. She used to be married to Mary's brother. She divorced him, then married Kody. Sneaking out to lunches and things like that. How early on, Christine and Mary used to get along and they would hang out and spend money together, blah, blah, blah. And it was kind of Janelle on her own. And then like how they all got along or didn't get along and how the situations unraveled, unfurled. The fact that Kody said that he was always, now he's confirming that he always kind of favored Robyn and she was his soulmate from the beginning. That was stuff that we had already said for years. Now, all of a sudden, it's supposed to be new because they're finally acknowledging and admitting to what we had already said. So a lot of this shit is just old news at this point. Like it's new because they're saying it. But the concepts and the ideas are all old. So that's why I don't think that, despite what Suki say, I don't think this show's going to last for seasons. I don't think they have seasons in them. What are y'all need to start talking about what you're going to talk about. And this ain't it. Because were you going to talk about Kody Pass for the next 3 seasons? Remember when we sold Kody Pass? Remember the first time I went to Kody Pass and threw a rock into the poop pond? Remember that? It said, "Gaglunk." I'll never forget that day. It said, "Gaglunk," just like that. It was a rock. It was big. They threw it in the poop pond. Like, oh, is that going to be the tell-all? Season 21 tell-all. Throwing rocks in the poop pond. Like, come on. I remember I went swimming with my family on this land I don't have anymore. I don't know. That's going to be 4 more seasons. Oh, Brady, not Brady. In the house. When the Mega Mind Squad's in the house. Then we had a tie with the $5 super chat. Said Janelle was on that Bobby Womack type ish. I wish you didn't trust me so much. Don't leave your man around Janelle. And I'm a Janelle stan, but damn, yeah, right. Kody walk in the door, Janelle was up in the corner. She was up in the cut like, what we got? Yeah. Look at here now. Okay, boom, shaka, laka, boom. Hi, Kody. Hey, Kody, come over here and stand next to me for a minute. I got something to ask you. What? I'll tell you. You know what? I'm going to be honest. That whole shit, we going to keep it all the way a book like I know I likes to do. I ain't going to lie. If I had to think of a song that actually reminded me of, it would be Secret Lovers. You know, secret lovers, that's what we are. That Mrs. Jones. Me, Mrs. Janelle. Mrs. Janelle, Miss Janelle, Miss Janelle. There's a thing going on. Gotta be extra careful. Yeah, out there sneaking, slipping, and dipping. He probably had that shit rocking in the convertible when he was pulling it up. You know what I mean? Talking about me and Mrs. Jones. There's a thing going on. We y'all know. Actually, shit, they had a few songs like that. What is it, Stevie Wonder? Part-time lovers. Dun, 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 dun. He said it. You ring the phone twice. You and me, part-time lovers. She and he. We are undercover. That was my shit, boy. Stevie can write a hit now. Don't get it twisted. Yeah, there's a lot of songs, boy. They was dusty. They were dirty ass songs. Playing people dirty. Apparently, that was Janelle's whole playlist. That your man chose me. Like, that is not a thing. You know what I mean? That is not a thing. And you know what? It is also a weird cultural thing. I want to say it's a cultural thing. Because the way Janelle tries to explain it, that is certainly a cultural thing. Because you could never, like, oh yeah, Peach, I'm saving all my love for you. Whitney Houston. Yeah, because I say it's a cultural thing. Because the fact that you said it with your whole chest, like the shit, what? Okay, so I was at a party at my ex's house. I was at my husband's family's house when his sister walks in with this man, and I'm like, damn, woo, who brought in the smoke show? So at that point, I knew I was divorcing my husband. Because that's what she didn't say. Because it wasn't just, oh, I had broke up. Me and my husband had already broke up. You were at Mary's wedding with your husband. As far as I know, maybe I'm wrong. But I thought it was that you were at that Mary's wedding with your husband. So that means that you guys were full on married when you first saw Kody and you decided you wanted to have kids with him. Is that why your relationship fell apart? Like you took a second look at the menu and was like, you know what? I don't want that. I want some of this. Like I said, girl. And I say it's a cultural thing because there's not a lot of ladies I know who you could be with it. You could be it. And I'm not even talking about their brother. Like brother's off the, that shit is off the hook. Like brother's girlfriend or wife. I'm talking about even girlfriend. I'm not even gonna say wife, girlfriend, brother's girlfriend. Try to go after your man. She catching it. Like she catching some hot ones. Like right to the grill. And you better not show back up to a family affair again. Oh yeah, Allison Gators. It was definitely because she said it was the first time she saw Kody. Was at a party at her in-laws' house. But my only question is, wasn't Janelle with Mary's brother when she went to Mary and Kody's wedding? So if she was with Mary's brother at Kody and Mary's wedding, then that means the first time she saw Kody, met Kody, was while she was still married to Mary's brother. And she's talking about when I saw him, as I'm married to Mary's brother, I'm getting moist in the drawers. Like that shit is crazy. That's crazy work. You know what I mean? That's crazy work. Son. That is crazy. That's crazy. I don't even know how you would admit some shit like that. Like about, like me and my wife been married forever. And if I was with somebody, which I wasn't, but if I was in a relationship with somebody when I first saw my wife, and I remember the first time I saw my wife, I was like, "Damn, son!" But if I was with my wife, or with somebody else, and I saw my wife today, I would never tell something like, oh yeah, the first time I saw her, I was with Barbara, but I saw that and I was like, Barbara, you got to go. I got someplace else I need to stop. Hey, that would never come out of my mouth. Never. Never would I say that shit out loud. You know what I mean? That would be something I took to my grave. I would take that shit to my grave. And then when I say I take it to my grave, it wouldn't be nowhere. Like, it's not like I'll be on my deathbed, like, oh yeah, by the way, I saw your mama and she was hot. And I was with Barbara. Bump Barbara. Never would I say that. So it's crazy to me. It's crazy work that Janelle would even admit that shit. That's insane to me. Well, I was catching thunderbolt shit. That's how you wind up catching some little hot lead pieces. That's how you catch some hot lead if you talking shit like that. I was saw that when I saw her hit that door, I was like, damn, son. And then you admitted to Mary, like that's a bonding moment. What? Let me tell you about how I was lusting after your husband. Oh. Oh man. Thank you so much, Ty. I appreciate it. That's a level of confidence I don't have. Like I just I don't have that level of confidence. I couldn't say some shit like that. Michelle Woods in the house with the $10 super chat. In the first season of Sister Wives, TLC interviewers went to viewers with a camera and a mic. Oh shit. Asked viewers if they had cues for Kody and the wives. Questions for Kody and the wives. One question was so personal, the kids were sent away. Yeah, that was back when they was trying to pretend like they were all sanctimonious. I remember that. Do you guys have basically separate intimate time, or do you guys all just kind of jump in the boudoir together and just kind of free for all it? And then they were, oh, I can't believe people would be curious about this. Oh my goodness, this is too far. Like that's why you're on the show. That's why you're on the show. People are curious about stuff like that. You are naive as crazy. You're naive if you thought that people were never going to ask you about your special intimate times and how does it work out and how does it work. That you think they give a shit how many times that man eats over at your house? Or if you guys all sit down and eat meals together? You know, it's crazy. Like, I can't believe they would ask questions about our intimacy. That's the only reason you're on TV. That's the only. Are you serious? I remember that too, Michelle. I remember that. That's when they go too far and they're asking personal stuff. Yeah, because you're on a reality TV show. You're sharing your business with people. So yeah, they're gonna be up in your business. So you gotta be ready for it. You gotta be ready for it. I can't believe they would ask about those things. Oh, you might have been more surprised that we're not going to sit here and pretend like we too shy to ask a question. If you old enough to be on TV portraying your little lifestyle and trying to hype it up for those in the back row, yeah, we're going to ask some questions about it. To be honest with you, I genuinely wish people would have been a little more forceful in their questioning of the family. You know, I wish they would have been more forceful with it. Like, really dig down and dig in and drill into a lot of the questions as far as how their family functions and what's going on and require them to answer. Because we would have cut through a lot of bullshit excess seasons of them pretending like everything is perfect only to realize that things weren't perfect. If you would have actually allowed the fans to ask the questions that they really wanted to ask, instead of them softball ass, well, you guys get in arguments all the time. And how do you deal with jealousy? Well, it's just something we have to deal with because, everybody gets jealous. Even monogamists get jealous. But see, here's the thing. If a monogamist gets jealous, they get jealous because it's a violation of the commitment that they have with the person that they're with. So if I find out my wife is spending time with a man, or I don't even limit it to a man, spend time with anybody, right? Right? Man, woman, whatever. And I find out that, she doing shit I find suspect or questionable, I'm gonna be jealous. Not because, it's just a natural feeling. I'm jealous and angry because it's a violation of the commitment that we made to each other. Like, same. If you agree to be in a plural relationship, the question is, when people talk about jealousy, is how do you deal with jealousy? Because clearly being in a plural relationship, the underlying assumption is that it's not the most natural thing. But how do you deal with jealousy, especially since you agreed to the thing that's making you jealous? That's not a dumb question. That's a damn good question. And it's not comparable to them always trying to throw monogamists under the bus. And I'm tired of them trying to pull monogamists into their bullshit. Oh, monogamists have bad relationships too. Monogamists be jealous too. It's different. It's different. Y'all, when y'all want to be polygamous and you don't want nobody questioning you, then we can't possibly understand how polygamy works because it's so unique, different, and alien to any other human experience. But the second you trying to make a point, then all of a sudden, if somebody criticizes polygamy or something that happened in polygamy, then all of a sudden is, oh, you guys know what it's all about because monogamists do it too. You can't have it both ways. Either it's completely different, and I have no understanding of what it's like to be a polygamist, because it's nothing close to or any way related to monogamy, or these are the similar or same types of situations with the same human experience involved, and people are going to be people in these situations. But yeah, I agree. Like, I think that would be an interesting spin. If you guys want this show to last for a couple more seasons, Suki, inspired, talk to TLC about having, people come out and ask questions. Have them do like a town hall type tell-all, or a town hall type maybe not a one-on-one, but have them do a town hall type tell-all format where the audience members get to ask the questions they want to know. And if y'all want to be insulted, y'all can be insulted, but I guarantee you, the fans and the people who watch this show are not going to be shy about asking the questions they want to be asking. Y'all just going to be insulted. Oh, I can't believe you asked that. Well, I did. Oh, I don't want to even reply to that. That's disgusting. Well, I'm going to keep asking the same question. Maybe you don't want to answer, but that's not going to stop me from asking it. So, but thank you so much, Michelle. What? Then we have Just Scrapping in the house, the $4.99 suit chat. I made Sailor of the Year in U.S. Navy after 3 years at my duty station. Okay. When I didn't want to re-enlist, they took my photo down next day and my parking spot. Yeah. 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 Yeah, you the shit while you here. But the second you talk about you want to go, then all of a sudden it's, oh, you believe that. Lazy. You know what I mean? While you there, they can't get enough of your ass. You the best thing since sliced bread. Oh, amazing, a miracle worker. Second, you be like, you know what? I don't think I want to do this anymore. Who do you think you are? What? The level of betrayal. She said they took a photo down the next day and a parking space. That shit is petty. You more like I'm still here. Like I'm still here. Like, oh, you don't want to re-enlist? Okay, you still got to serve the rest of your time, so you're still there. It's not like you're not gonna see me. I don't even want to look upon your face anymore. You're leaving. What is wrong with you? I'm here. Okay, so you don't have a picture of me hanging on the wall. Fine, but I'm still here. Well, you gonna be walking. That's for damn sure. But I'm not gonna see is you coming in, pulling into the parking lot and being able to walk 2 minutes into the building. We're gonna put you in lot D. You know what I mean? Lot D. What the hell's lot D? Down around the way. Lot D. Down around the way is it? Lot D. Don't see you. What the shit? Like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And you would think, like, and that's kind of one of the like when people talk about like loyalty to jobs and things, I've always said, you have to be remind yourself to be as loyal to your job and your positions as they will be loyal to you. Be as loyal to them as they will be as loyal to you. Because like Just Scrappin said, like they love your ass when you're doing everything they want you to do, or they love you to death. You sacrificing, you coming in on your days off. You're a miracle worker. You're a savior. You come in, you stay late, help the boss. Oh, you're an excellent worker. Oh, I'm gonna talk about getting you a promotion, maybe a letter or something. Oh, you're amazing. These same people, you go to them, ask them for a raise. Well, I don't know. We got it in the budget to help you out. Blah, blah. As you know, well, you know what? This isn't really for me. I think I'm gonna pursue some other interests. Maybe I could get a letter of recommendation. No, I don't really know you like that. Oh, you don't know me? I'm the one who was showing up. Remember when you needed to take days off because you had that thing going on with your family and I covered for you? Yeah, I'm still that person. I mean, you don't know me. Now you don't know my ass. Okay. But yeah. That's why I used to on the I wanted to do some things where I was talking about like professionalism and things of that nature, but professional experiences. But that is one of the things that I would say, like, don't ever confuse your working relationships with friendships. Those are situationships. Because what you'll notice is even some of the people that you'll be really close to at your job, when you get ready to leave, everybody wants to exchange emails and phone numbers, socials, and everything else. And then when you're gone, you'll be gone maybe about 2 months, if that. Then all of a sudden your phone stops ringing. They kind of moved on. And it's not because you're a horrible person or they're horrible people. It's just because your situationship has changed. You guys were in the hole. You guys were in the hole together. You were struggling. You were in the trenches together. And you were fighting a good fight with one another, shoulder to shoulder, back to back. But now that you've left that situation, your relationship is, all of a sudden you're getting your picture taken down and they trying to put you in the parking lot on the other side of the planet. You got to take a charter bus. Put you so deep in the parking lot, you got to get a charter bus to get to the building and shit. You got to get there a half hour early so you can walk it out. Even then, you're coming in sweating like shit because you done did cardio walking from the parking lot. So, but thank you so much, Just Scrapping. Appreciate you. We'll call Just Scrapping the hit maker. The hit maker. All right, Jenny Jet with the 49. Jenny Jet 49 85 with the 999 super chat. Janelle got a divorce in 90. Married Kody in 93. To want Mary on Mary's birthday, want to get married on Mary's birthday is effed up. That's beyond effed up. That's I hate you territory. Got knocked up and had Logan in 94 after Kody married Christine. After baby, Janelle was the breadwinner. None of them had it easy but Robyn. Yeah, that shit is crazy. That's crazy. Like, damn. Janelle got divorced in 90, married Kody in 93. Want to marry Mary's baby. Want to get married on Mary's birthday. That's just crazy work. And the fact that you like, I don't know what you're mad about. Why are you mad? Because you married my husband? Okay. So, on my birthday? And you were once my sister-in-law? You still thinking about that? Wow. Wow. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. That is a lot. Like, that is a lot. And you gonna work yourself to death. And here's the thing. You know, you talk all the time, like, you want to find out who somebody is, find out, you want to find out the character of a person, find out how they treat people they consider to be less than them, or people that they don't view as equals. And the funny part is that Janelle kind of went along with it, and everything is okay and everything is copacetic. At least this is how it kind of comes off to me. Everything is okay. Everything is fine. But you're not recognizing the fact that you're doing this and you don't have a problem with it because you're winning. But in addition to that, you have somebody who is helping you do it in Kody. And he's okay with you doing this to Mary. He's okay with you treating her that way. He's okay with, he knew that you were married to Mary's brother, and he was okay with it. But then updated when 5 years ago he wanted to play you dirty and do dirty shit to you. Now all of a sudden it's, oh my goodness, I can't believe he did this to me. Why are you surprised? Because again, this is who he always was. Uncle, sister, cousin, daddy. This is who he always was. So you can't be surprised or mad because now he's doing what he's always done. So Jenny Jet, excellent observation. I'm just like, when you put it all together, it's just crazy sound. Like the shit, like I said, it's all crazy work. This is crazy. But thank you so much, Jenny. Because you put it all together, it's like, how is Mary, as much shit as they talk about Mary, how is she not in jail? Like, what? What? I don't, this would drive most people crazy. You would be crazy, like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs crazy. What? I couldn't, man. I couldn't. Bless Mary and bless them, because I couldn't do this. Everybody's had like family members who dated attractive people, but never once was I sitting there going, man, I hope they break up. That's me, son. That's me right there, son. Break up, boy. I'm on that like a paper plate on a glass and a paper in a rainstorm, Jack. I'm all over that. Normally it's like, you were with my who? No, I'll pass. No, thank you. Pass. Not these folks. Cindy McKenzie. Okay. With the $6.99 super chat. Said, I wonder if Kody was so mad that Christine did not want the one big house in Flagstaff because he was trying to get back the money from that house. Yeah. I don't think it was so much he was mad that she didn't want the big house in Flagstaff. I think, and let me know what you guys think. I think that he was mad that she didn't go for the vision of the big house in Flagstaff. Because had she bought into the vision of the big house in Flagstaff, it would have been a lot easier for him to convince them, well, if we're going to do this big house, this is going to be very expensive for us to purchase, then develop the land, and then build the house. So what we need to do is we need to tighten our belts and take all the money from the sale of the homes and put it into an account so that we could save it so that way we could build a big house. Now, he certainly would have went back and I think, raided that fund, but it would have prevented Christine from being able to purchase her home in Arizona. I think that's what he was actually mad about. That it's not so much the big house, it's the fact she bought a house. And she bought a house using her house money that he thought was his. And that's what he was, So he talks about like that. Oh, we could have had a big ass house. It was, I could have got her to invest all her money into the promise of a big ass house, in which case I'd had it available to take it. Yeah, but why? Like, because even then he wasn't spending time at Christine's house all like that anyway. He wasn't spending time with Mary at all. When he was talking about moving, they were moving to Arizona. He wasn't staying at Mary's house at all. At all. The only other house he was going to more frequently was Janelle's house. So why would you want to build a big ass house? And even in the words of Christine, why the hell would I want to live in a house and get to watch him, go to other people's apartments or section of the house? That would be torture. That would be torture. I'm glad Christine didn't do it because that would have been a big old dummy. That would have been a mega dummy. Janelle was about that life, though. Tells you where she was. I think it'll be a great idea. It'll be wonderful. And that's why you sitting there, your pocket's flat. Because he took your money on a promise that you was going to do some big things. But thank you, Cindy McKenzie. All right. It said, yeah, he was trying to get back that. Yeah, I agree with you, Cindy. He was trying to get that money. I get that money. He was like, I gotta get to that paper. I tell you what, Kody was looking at that. He was looking at them the profits from them house sales in Vegas the same way Janelle was looking at him when he came into that party. Like, I might have to break some of that off. I had to put that in my pocket. Said Ty said $2 super treat. Said, oh, the look on Robyn's face during Janelle's tour stopped. Pissed. Yeah, right. She's like, they look, because you can see the energy between the two of them. You can see the energy. And you know what? And they think that like this whole thing with Janelle is just bad for Janelle, which it is. I think it is bad for Janelle, to a degree. But at the same time, guys, could you imagine if you know these stories that we're hearing for the first time that Janelle was catching feelings first time she saw Kody, and there's a possibility, like we all speculate, but this is something that they've been kicking around for years in the family that maybe, especially as close as Mary was to Robyn at one point, she go over there and talk shit to Robyn, chatting her up. She probably mentioned that she might have thought that Kody and Janelle might have been tipping the lights fantastic before they got married, right? And so here Robyn is sitting there watching Kody like, and her just, I didn't do it. When I said I didn't love you, That was a lie. I did. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it, Kody. Kody, can I tell you something? Yeah, Janelle. I'm gonna tear you apart. Like that's how Janelle was looking at it. Like, I'm gonna tear you apart, Kody. You ain't gonna make it to the car, son. You know what I mean? I'm telling you. Janelle hit that shit. She was like Gundam style. I'm telling you. She's gonna kill Kody. I'm gonna break your hips, your legs, your pelvis. I'm crushing your pelvis. Like you are gonna be destroyed as a man. Yeah, because it's been a minute and mama needs some work. So Janelle, like we sat there and was like, I think Janelle was feeling it. Robyn, I think, was feeling it. What we was feeling. You know. And she like Gundam style. Hey, pretty lady. Womp, 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 womp. I'm telling you. Robyn, her whole face got tight. You know Robyn was in trouble. Her jaw got tight as shit. she had that wicked stepmother look on her face. Like Cinderella ass in trouble. When she get home, boy, she gonna be cleaning all the floors. Oh man, she was not playing. She was dead ass. What happened to all that light fun, Jeanette Robyn? All that supposition. You okay with polygamy? You wanted him to have extra wives. And what about your hopes and your dreams of having a one big family? Now it seems like Janelle ready to come on back home, and you like, no. And she looked like she was about to have a conniption. Like the top of her head was about to split open. Her skull was going to be bare naked, and just laser beams shoot out her eyes. Why you with Janelle? I don't know, wicked stepmother. Thank you, Ty. Yeah, it did look like Janelle was trying to work a backdoor deal. She was trying to work a backdoor deal. Come on, Kody, let's get this backdoor dough popping. Oh, that's disgusting. I'm ashamed of myself. I feel so much shame. All right, next up we got our Brittany Not Brittany with the $4.99 super chat. The only reason we're rehashing this BS is because Kody is too much of a coward to discuss his relationship with his kids. That would be current. That would be current events, right? That would be current events. That would be current events. But he don't want to talk about current events. He want to talk about how Janelle felt about him when she first saw him 30 years ago. What? When I first saw my ex, let me tell you, all I could think about, sex. What? I think she was the happy monogamous now. And if Kody was going to be upset, that's the thing too. You notice Kody didn't draw the line when it came to that kind of stuff. He don't mind talking about knocking boots with this one and that one and the lustful thoughts he had with these other women and makes them look horrible. But if they would have asked the same question about Robyn, when you first saw Robyn, is this similar? Because Janelle said that she felt a thunderbolt type wanting to be with you event when she first saw you. And Kody is very reminiscent of the same way that Robyn described how she felt when she first saw you. Do you see the comparison between the two? Kody would have cut that shit off. I'm not talking about Robyn. Oh, what time is it? I gotta go. You don't be talking about Robyn. I'm not discussing her. That would have been his position. But these other ones, y'all gotta recognize the difference. Y'all gotta recognize the difference. And it's funny to me, even right now, Nobody's talking about the kids. Kody probably told him, if you talk about the kids, I'm leaving. And TLC, yes, boss. Yes. Yes, boss. We won't discuss the children. Forget them kids. F them kids. Ain't that what you said, boss? It's verboten for you to talk about the kids. Yes, boss. Yes, yes. TLC's on my nerves. But thank you so much, Brandon. Tis verboten. I don't know. It's a little weird. Like, it's me, but it's a little weird when middle-aged dudes start trying to be German. You know what I mean? Like, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's a little weird. But we got Megatron with the $2 super chat. Megatron. Autobots. Sister Wives need to bring Wendy Williams out of retirement. Wendy Williams is too wild. I don't think Kody can handle Wendy Williams. I don't think he could. I don't think Kody could do Wendy Williams. Because especially Wendy Williams, I wasn't a huge fan of Wendy Williams. I've heard her show. But what I remember about Wendy Williams in the interviews I have listened to, the one thing that is actually the death knell for an interview with Wendy Williams is to tell her you can't or refuse to talk about something. Because if you go into an interview with Wendy Williams, at least this is my recollection, correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but my recollection was if you told Wendy Williams, like, James, from My Take on Reality, we going on an interview with Wendy Williams, and I don't want to talk about my relationship with my kids. She would ask like 3 softball ass questions. We would all be sitting there chuckle-lucking. Yeah, very funny, Wendy. How you doing? Like, that was a big thing. How you doing? Right? And then not long after that shit, all her questions after that would be the shit that I said I didn't want to talk about. She'd have like pages and pages of just questions about the stuff I've told her in the pre-interview agreement that I wasn't willing to discuss. And that would be all we talked about. And then she would try to create an environment where you would get up and leave because she liked that kind of controversy too. She liked that kind of controversy where you storm off the show or you say you ain't gonna do it or you get an argument. All she heard was cha-ching ratings. Yeah. And Kathy Francis says she isn't doing very well. Yeah, she had a breakdown. But yeah, I just remember like Wendy in her prime time, boy. Wendy would ask them, and she wouldn't even ask it wouldn't even be like so much hard questions, just jacked up questions. Like shit that like you would be embarrassed about. Like that's the stuff she would ask you. Stuff you would be embarrassed about. It's hard because it's embarrassing. Not hard because it's like, tell me about your relationship with your daughter or whatever. Like last conversation you had with Gabe, healthy conversation you had with Gabriel or whatever. Was the last thing you guys talked about? Nothing like that. It'd be like, why don't you talk to your kids? Yeah, I got a news article here said that you was Leon said you was a shit dad. What do you have to say about that? And Kody went like, Kathy Ferran said Wendy would eat Kody alive. Yeah, he wouldn't make it out of that studio. And you can't, and that was a thing too with Wendy Williams. Like it wasn't like you was shouting at her and you were going to intimidate her. You just, I'm gonna buck up on you and I'm gonna start talking loud and fast, and you're gonna start getting scared because you ain't nothing but a little woman. Wendy would go toe to toe with you, and she would get nasty. So Kody couldn't do that. Like that stuff he do would never work with her. But thank you so much, Megatron. Yeah, Kody would be upset. That would be it'd be awesome to watch. Like I'll watch it. I will watch it. But Kody would be upset. Like going into it, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be bad. Like this might get so gritty. I might actually feel bad. But I would like to think. I'm gonna strike that redirect. I would like to think that I would feel bad, because that would mean that I think I would be a better person if I actually felt bad. I don't think I would, though. Probably be more laughing, and it'd be hilarious, and I might do like a cut remix tape of it. But I would like to think that I would feel bad, because it would be disgusting. Yeah, because she has some jacked up questions. Like, what? you know. Raiders mod $2 super chat. Goody goo 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 goody goo goo. Raiders mod coming in from Florida. Hey, Raiders mod, did you guys get snow in the FL? Let me know. I'm curious. Thank you so much, Raiders mod. Yeah, I'm contending with that stuff. I gotta get up early tomorrow. I gotta drive my daughter out. She has to go somewhere. And she was like, "Oh, go out and clean your car off." That snow is so damn deep. I'm like, do you want me to drive you? Like, I will get up and drive you. I'll drive you. And she had that, thanks, Dad. And I was like, damn it. To be an involved parent. Yeah, but she just, I don't know. You get up, you do what you got to do. Because if something happens, then you be like, I feel terrible if something were to happen. So I'll get up. I don't give a shit. Do what you got to do. It is what it is. Make it happen. Make it happen, Captain. Perfumes are life. I love it. Perfumes are life. With the $9.99 super chat. All of the characters have flaws. For example, Mary enabled Robyn's affair, or her inability to apologize for her own affair. I wonder what TLC covered for Kody and Robyn. These two have skeletons. Yeah. And that's kind of the question too, because TLC actively goes out and tries to cover for Kody and Robyn. When they do something wrong or they do something suspect, even during the course of a season, like even if they play the thing that they did wrong during the season, if they bring up the issue, the only thing that happens is Kody refuses to talk about it. Oh, I'm not talking about that. Or Robyn will just simply say, "Oh, I can't talk about it. I'll get emotional and I don't want to talk about it." She starts dabbing her eyes all freaking hard. And then everybody backs off. Ooh, kid gloves. These two fragile individuals can't take it. I mean, if you're that worried, and this kind of goes to the whole thing, it kind of goes to the whole thing. If you are so mentally fragile or unstable that you can't address certain things, you shouldn't be on the show. If you can't handle questions because it sends you into an emotional spiral, you should get your ass off the show. This is not healthy for you. If she's that, like, if Robyn is that fucking fragile, she shouldn't be on the show. They need to get rid of her for her own best interest, her own good. They should let her go. Because she, like Brittany said that shit when was it season 18? Robyn was in the bathroom on the dirty ass floor crying and shit, having a breakdown. I was like, oh Lord. All right, we were doing a call-in show. Brittany mentioned that shit. I was like, yeah, this is bad. Like, homegirl down bad. She just sitting on the dirty ass floor, just crying her ass off and shit. Oh, I'm just sitting here, I'm thinking about them. Like, oh my God, somebody need to go check on Robyn's ass. Don't have up there by herself recording and shit. You know what I mean? Somebody need to go check on her. She is not okay. Like, she cried, then she angry, like without missing a beat. Like, no tears flowing, but she crying supposedly. Like no, crying, no tears. Then she all of a sudden she angry. Then she crying again. Like, I don't know. And I think that the like as far as the flaw thing, I think that we're seeing more of the character flaws now than we have historically. So I think that's interesting. But thank you so much, Perfumes Are Life. Perfumes are life. Thank you so much. Awesomeness. Then we had Brittany Not Brittany with a 9.99 super chat. Robyn needs to be worried about Janelle because she was coming for her job as the loyal wife. She was turning mental tricks for Kody like preview of the after show. Yeah, I don't know, boy. Because Janelle was looking like, you know, what's that Tupac song? How do you want it? Kind of flipping switches on hydraulic, boy. What? I can't say that because I only know the dirty version. But yeah, that shit. And like I said, Robyn was sitting there. Her ass was tight. She like, and that's the thing too. Like there are like I don't give a shit. Like even the most hyper masculine people. Oh, I would never look at a man and be able to tell whether they're attractive or not because that would be against my faith and my manliness. You know who's attractive. Because if you looking at it, there's certain people you look at them and you be like, I am never leaving my wife alone with this motherfucker. And not on a bed. Hell no. You know what your people like. Like even if you try to play it off cool, like you've been with somebody for so long, you know what they into. You be out of the bar or the club, young lady walk by, wife look you right in the face. She know what you like. She know what you looking for. It's like, I ain't stupid. I know, right? And Robyn know that Kody is he a dirty dog, and it's starting to come off like Janelle rocking her thing. So Robyn might be like, yeah, the two of y'all together? Oh, hell no. I bet you she was second guessing sending his ass out there by herself when she saw that tape. Because let's be honest, when Kody got back and he told Robyn about about the relationship or whatever, it probably was like real, I met with Janelle and she was like really friendly and positive and stuff. And, we had like a really good conversation. And then after everything was over, I left and went back to my room and I called you right away and blah, blah, blah. And Robyn was probably like, all right, cool. Because he's so in love with me because I'm all that in a bag of chips. Then when she sees the video, and she's like, he ain't say all that. What the shit? Remember when I said I didn't love you? That was a lie. I knew it. Kody, you could get it right now. That's basically what she was saying when she was like, I knew it. She's like, Kody, you could get it right now. You want it? You got it. You know what I mean? Let me give you this coupon for one one get broke off. You know what I mean? She's like, let me give you this coupon for this one get broke off. I was like, he ain't say all that. That wasn't part of the debrief. I mean, when I was getting my report, my download, he didn't say nothing about her talking about, the backdoor door. He ain't trying to work it out. He didn't say nothing about that. He just said it was he came home, probably hit her with the normal man shit. How was the meet with Janelle? All right. is what it is, Yeah, not much. What you guys talk about? Nothing. This don't look like nothing to me. This look like a big old something. So yeah. And that would be a thing, even if Janelle didn't have a history. Like we find out now that she got a history, but even if she didn't have a history, how you get your people is how you lose your people. How you get your man is how you lose your man. That's something that was kicked around even when I was a kid, right? And you know that if I scooped a woman on some Dick Dastardly shit, like, I did some real slimy stuff to get this woman, and I went behind her and I was cheating with her. I've always said if she cheats with you, she'll cheat on you. So if I know what I did to get you, and I know what you're capable of. And Robyn knows that she was doing some real dastardly type stuff. She was sitting there doing the right. You doing that, and that's what you did to get him. Then you shouldn't be surprised, and you should be super nervous when he talking about he gonna go meet with somebody, especially somebody he's familiar with, especially somebody who he had a intimate type relationship with, and especially when they have that history and all that. That's why those histories, like when people say that's somebody I used to mess with, and I wouldn't mess with him anymore because I used to mess with him. There's a certain level of familiarity there. There's a boundary that's already broken because it's not like you guys are laying down for the first time. They've been together for 30 years banging it out. So there's no reason for you to think that, it's another Friday night for them. So yeah, but thank you, Brittany. I appreciate you. This is Brittany, not Brittany, once again with the $4.99 super chat. They got this show because of the Big Love, an HBO show known for adult content. Yeah, they was. And we're surprised people asked adult questions. Yeah. Because they had not only did they have sex scenes, but they had explicit scenes. They had scenes in that show that historically, like, because I'm a more advanced gentleman, as you can tell, more distinguished. Back in the day, HBO, they would have like some freaky deaky stuff, right? And it was usually, but even in like what you did in the intimacy department, it was pretty much well regulated. So you could show so much, you could show so much in certain positions or whatever, and it was only for a short amount of time. But anything like that they showed on Big Love, there's particularly one scene that I'm thinking about where Nikki, the second wife, who's like super conservative, was looking in her bedroom window. She was looking down into the third wife, the last wife's house. And the husband and the third wife was getting it in. And they were doing things to each other. Like, we're adults, so we all know what we're talking about. They was doing things to each other, right? And she was appalled. Oh, this is disgusting. You can't do that. Why would you do that to him? And why would you make him do that to you? And it's disgusting. That stuff, Skinamax. Okay, that was like, just even what they showed, like, it's not even like the next level of you actually seeing them doing stuff, but like the movement and the positions where you could tell what they were doing, they would never show that on like on HBO or nothing. That would be like, you know, the channels that was like supposed to be more racy that nobody could ever get. Like, you had to pay for those, and nobody was. At least I didn't know nobody who was paying for it. But that would be those type of shows, right? And like, it was hyper driven on the sexuality of the married couples and the explicit nature of those relationships. Like they showed them, like him jumping from bed to bed to bed, popping little blue magic pills, trying to keep up with all of them. And I think that eventually is what killed him at the end. Was he damaged his heart trying to satisfy his wives. It's just, it's part of it was part of the mix that made the show. Because again, if they just had a show about a cult that, the cult leader was coming after the family and they was trying to intrude on their lives, it might have been a show, but it wouldn't have been as popular. The main driver of that show was what they were doing, how he functioned in that relationship. And that's why the show centered around him. Like same when they got sister wives, the reason why so much of the show centered around Kody was because they were trying to figure out how this one guy is taking care of all these other women, not just emotionally or spiritually or psychologically, but how he's taking care of them physically. How are you doing it? How are you able to keep up? Especially these are healthy women. Like these, these are healthy women, so they have desires. So how are you taking care of it? And either everybody is happy or one person's happy and everybody mad as hell. These women just walking around strong as shit. Like, you don't trust them with the plumbing in the house. They done twisted off all the damn faucets. They're snapping faucets in half. They're too powerful. They just backed up. They don't have no release. Like, baby, I think I got a flat tire. I'm gonna be out there, lift the car up. Don't worry. I promise I'm gonna come by and take care of you. I promise I will. And the next thing you know, you at a dinner, and she's sitting there talking about, I know you love me. I'm gonna tear your ass apart. Because you missed some. I got some vouchers in my purse. So yeah, you're 100% right, Brett. Marlo Peters said, TLC interns in the house. Hi, Suki. There you go. Come on the show, Suki. I got some questions for you. It won't hurt. Megatron with the $2 super chat. My take on Reality Cruise 2026. What's up? I'm ready to book. Yeah, right. That actually is a good idea. I wouldn't mind going somewhere. Let me see if I can put something maybe in. Yeah. Maybe I might need a little more notice in 2026. Because everybody's well healed and this economy is a little tight. This economy is tight. Well, yeah, that actually might be a plan. That might be a plan. Yeah, maybe I'll come up with like some goals or something if I can hit certain goals. See if I can set something up. Hey, good idea, Megatron. Megatron coming through with the ideas. See, it's my brain trust right there. See, I got a brain trust. Members and the chats. Woo! Can't mess with the MTOR fan. My take on Reality Armada. You should be very scared. You should be very scared, TLC. Thank you so much, man. Lee with the $1.99 super chat. Wendy was the first to talk about Diddy and got fired. Yeah. Preach it, Lee. Look, for those that don't remember, I do remember that shit. She called out, I gotta be careful because I'm not even as big as Wendy Williams. They tanked her ass crazy. But she was one of the first people to come out and talk about Diddy. She talked about several other people who were connected to Diddy and saying that they were involved with some wild stuff when it came to the boudoir. And then later on, like as much as everybody denied it and called her crazy and and harassed her and told her that, they wanted to get her fired and they was going to buy the radio station and fire her ass and all kinds of stuff. The stories started trickling out, and Wendy Williams is not looking as crazy as they was always saying she was. Just saying. Because she was, like Lee said, that I do remember that. She was one of the first people to, and when she called Diddy out, it wasn't like most of the people were calling Diddy out would say like little slick stuff, right? But when Wendy Williams called Diddy out, she said that shit with a whole chest. She said that with a whole chest, and she hollered his name out. Like she was ringing him out. She aired him out. And people was going nuts. Like they were talking about firing her. That's how, actually, I think that was around the time that Diddy was getting his hooks in the Breakfast Club. Like that's why he was so determined to get his hooks into the Breakfast Club, because of the whole thing with Wendy Williams. I think they wound up taking one of her spots. So I don't know. I gotta remember. But yeah. But thank you so much, ladies. Then we had Lizzie B. She gifted One My Take on Reality membership. OG Triple OG Mega Mod Squad gifted memberships. So if you guys are members, you can join the Saturday roundtable. We had one yesterday. Very good time. Very good time. It can get wild and crazy. It can get wild and crazy, but it's certainly a good time. But thank you so much, Lizzie B. I appreciate you. Let me give you a little something. All right, and I want to release that video. I got to just make sure I can upload it because I was having problems uploading it earlier. So I'm gonna figure a workaround. I'm gonna get that video uploaded, and I want to talk about the 3 phases, not just of the apology tour, because that's just one phase. That was one phase. But it's the image laundering that I'm talking about. I'm going to address in this video, and I'm gonna just lay it out, like how I see things kind of working themselves out, why they're doing what they're doing, and how they're going about it. And this isn't just a Kody and Robyn thing. This is a Kody, Robyn, TLC productions team thing that I think is going on, where they're trying to rehabilitate and launder not only Kody's image, but Robyn's image as well through association. And I want to walk through like how my thoughts on how I think they're trying to achieve it. In another video, not the video I'm going to release tomorrow, I want to talk about why it doesn't work. And I'll probably release that after the final tell-all installment comes out. Right. And it'll be weird to me because I don't want to be a dick, but I think there is strong indications for me that TLC and the cast members are watching a lot of the content creators and commentary that we put forward, because I hear, like, there's times when I hear certain things I've said in certain commentary, or like they say it in a way that I've said it before, that makes me think, wow, y'all got that from somebody. And it happened too many times for me to just be like, oh, it's just maybe like minds. And it's not just me, but I've heard other like echoes of other creators in some of the commentary that they have, or answer things that they address, the way they address them. It's almost like they're saying to the content creator, here's my response, here's my reply, here's my reaction to what you said. To you reacting to me, I'm reacting to you. So I'm going to give it a little time before I come out and tell him how he could have fixed it, because it'll annoy me if he comes out and tries to do it right away. Be honest with you, I'm going to be straight up. It won't work if you do it. So if you do it, I'm going to know you did it because I said to do it. But just know this, I'm saying it now because I know it won't work when you do it. All right, Code? So just don't be blaming me when the shit don't work. He said to do this and I did it and now I look stupid. Because yes, you will. You'll be looking dumb. Yeah. TLC. In case you are listening, interns are still here. TLC, show us the doll room. I know you won't because you're too afraid. You're afraid of Kody and Robyn will never let you show us the doll room. Because the internet sleuths will be all over that shit. The internet sleuths will be all over that shit. They will look them dolls up and they will have exact pricing on all the clothes, on all the dolls. They're going to be able to tell you everything about them dolls. That's why Robyn and Kody, that's why I think Robyn, for the most part, has been like super hush mouth about a lot of this stuff. I think that's why she's scared to talk. It's not just because, oh, she said something, everybody criticize her. No, I think she's afraid to talk because people look around her stuff and they look shit up. Whether it's Kody's ring, they came up with pricing on that. Whether it was the dolls and stuff that they had in front of the house, they came up with the pricing on that. So she does not want to play with the fans or the audience of this show, because if they ever open up that house too much and they start looking, because there were people who went back and priced all the paintings and shit on the walls, like they decor and stuff, like they got prices on everything. So that's why Robyn and them was filming in the snow, because I was too good, you know. So yeah, Reddit is doing the Lord's work. But yeah, because there's a few things I didn't talk about tonight, but I will be addressing them in upcoming videos. In case you guys didn't know, I'm going to run the Elizabeth. What's going on? Yeah, Big G's picture in the garage, right? What I'm gonna do is the live shows. I started another channel called My Take on Reality Live. And a lot of the live shows will be centralized at that location. If you guys want to watch the rewatches, the shorter form videos will be aired on the My Take on Reality show or channel. So do me a favor, go over and subscribe to the My Take. If you want to watch the, if you're interested in rewatching the lives, that's where they'll be located. On My Take on, well, it says My Take on Sister Wives Live, but it should be My Take on Reality Live. But that's where it'll be located. I'm gonna enable this to be watched on My Take on Reality. But moving forward, I was going to try to get away from doing that just because of the technical issues I was having. But we had another super chat come in from Megatron with a $2 super chat. Robyn in there sticking pins in OG3 like like dolls. He had a little voodoo. Put that red on your ass. That would be, I tell you what, if they ever did go into, because you know you can get custom dolls made, right? That is a thing. If they went into Robyn's doll room and Looney Tunes had like dolls made of all the wives and Kody, and they were all like sitting on benches and shit. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Oh, that shit would be nuts. That would be bonkers. That would be, it would be hilarious, but it'd be bonkers. Like she just got the OG3 and Kody just sitting on benches and shit. Christine has her mouth sewed up. Mary has her mouth sewed up. Janelle, you know, even though the dolls aren't anatomically correct, she got stitches in other places. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Oh, that would be so creepy. Oh no. Well, some of them like some of them dolls, like I've seen dolls that are like cute, but they're dolls like that. There's some dolls. I don't know how people had them shits in their house. I'm gonna be honest. Like some dolls were like, what the fuck? Like, are you serious? Like the one doll they had for what was that the what's the name of that movie series? Uh um I forget the name of that one movie series. The Conjuring series with that doll Annabelle. I don't know how people get wrapped up with that shit. Ain't no way in the world I'd had that ugly ass doll in my house. You want to look, that doll be possessing all they want to be. I open up the door, that doll sitting outside, I'm closing the door. Ain't nobody playing with that shit. Like, man, boy, it's kind of cute. Bring it up. Ain't that cute about that doll? Are you nuts? That doll is ugly. That doll is ugly. Chucky, yeah, that doll was ugly too. Ain't nobody playing with that doll for real. You know, I'd shit. If somebody would have given my child a doll like that, I'd put that shit right back in the bag and hand it back to him. Like, you know what? If you can't afford it, just don't do it. It's fine. Don't worry. You ain't gotta worry about bringing it into the. You could have came to the party. I don't care. I invited you to the party, not because you had a present, because I wanted you to come. You ain't had to bring this. You take this back to the store. And I was, this is a little crazy, but I was watching. I saw this little clip, and I'm gonna let you guys go. But I saw this clip earlier with David Blaine, the magician guy, and he does some stuff. And every now and again, he'll do some shit. And there's certain people who I just respect the shit out of. Like there'll be wealthy people or there'll be normal people, and just a certain type of person. Like there's some people they see magic and they're like, "Whoa, that's incredible! Oh my gosh, how did you do that?" Right? There's other people. There's another group of people. There was a Harrison Ford. There was LeBron James. I think Shaquille O'Neal, and there was this one brother. He was doing a magic trick, and he was supposed to pick a card out. And he said, "Pick a card, any card." David Blaine, pick a card, any card. The dude picked a card, and he said, "Okay, put it in the pile." He puts it in the pile, and he said, "Okay, step back. I'm over here." And the guy's about 2 feet away from him, right? Not coming in contact with him at all. And he said, "Okay, hold your hand out, and I'm gonna shoot the cards at your hand, and you'll catch your card." So he shoots the cards at the guy's hand. It's just hitting him in there, like hitting them all up in the wrist and stuff. There's no way he's catching it. And he said, "Okay, that didn't work." He said, "Okay, I'm gonna try it again." Shoots the cards again. Cards just hitting them all up in the wrist and the forearm and stuff. Didn't work. He said, "Oh man." He said, "Well, you know what? I saw the card bend and fold up under your arm and stuff." He said, "Just take your hand and do like this. And let me see your watch." The guy turned his hand over, and there was a card folded up in his wristwatch. The guy looked at the wristwatch, looked at that card, looked at David Blaine. He took his microphone off. He took the card off, sat it down. He said, "Hey, man, why don't you read the card?" He said, Nope, I'm good." And he walked, he went, sat his ass down. Harrison Ford, he did some kind of magic trick with Harrison Ford. Raiders of the Lost Ark, Han Solo from Star Wars. He said, that's Harrison Ford. He said, "Here, is this your card?" Harrison Ford looked at the card. He said, "Get the hell out of my house." I ain't no bullshit. He's like, "Get out of my house." No, I'm dead ass. He said, "Get out of my house." He kicked that dude out of his house. You know what? Because some people don't play with that supernatural shit. And I'm one of those people. I don't play with that supernatural shit. You come to my house, some ugly ass dog, and that dog walking around and shit. That dog owns that house now. You live here. I'm moving. You know, my only question is, can I take some of my stuff, or would you like that too? Because I don't live here no more. Show with an ugly ass dog. And some of those American dolls, I don't know, them American Me dolls. I don't know. Some of them dolls are kind of creepy looking, you know. And that's another thing. Like one or two, like, oh, that doll is cute. This doll's pretty. But just like a room full of them glass dead ass eyes just staring at you. I got a doll room. Like, oh, I ain't never going in that room. I ain't never going in that room. Ain't nothing for me. Ain't nothing for me in that room. Ain't nothing for me in that room. You know what I'm saying? James is $1 million in that room, and that's where that million will stay. Because I ain't going in there getting the rip put on my ass. You know what I mean? That's all demon follow me around for the rest of my days. I'm good. But yeah. Yeah, but I can see that shit got a whole. Like I said, imagine that shit. Like, got them sitting on like a little green. You know, they had a little grass or whatever. And they got a bench with all the wives sitting on the bench, and just, you know, Robyn sitting in Kody's lap in the little doll room. Our true family. Crazy ass Robyn. Thank you so much, Megatron. Jody Pierce, Scholar in the house, $1.99 super chat. Betty and I say hi. Can't find the channel either. You know what? I'm gonna I'll create a post for the channel so that way I can nail down the address, and I'll create a link, and then I'll post it on the Facebook, and I also put a post up on My Take on Reality so the channel will be available. But thank you so much for letting me know. Jody Pierce Scholar be pulling my coattails all the time, letting the brother know that like my shit's like, James, your shit ain't working, bro. Saving my neck. Thank you, Jody. Appreciate it. Yeah, I can't, you know, I'm not the one, the two, nor the three. Like, when it comes to a lot of that stuff, like, I always, like I said, when it comes to those kind of things, like I said, I've been around, and I was curious about different religious and practices and things of that nature. One of the things that I picked up early on in my exploration of different faiths and all that was the idea or notion that, first and foremost, there's a bigger world than just our world. So if you believe in like spirituality and things of that nature, that world is way bigger, way bigger. So what you don't do is start dabbling in that world, because even if you consider it, like, break it down to like demons and angels, and, oh, I'm going to vote the angels because I want the goodness in my life. The whole thing is that, like, there's some forms of practices that believe that if you were to be occupied or possessed by an angel, like, you invite an angel in and let the work be done or whatever, they won't necessarily look out for your best social life, your life socially. So they can make decisions for you that'll land your ass in prison for the rest of your life, you know, because they think that this is like the divine calling, and it's not good for you, you know. So no. There's another thing where, you know, when you another idea too, where, especially when it comes to occult stuff, if you open doors to certain things, you can't close those doors back. So that's where, like, a lot of the when I was talking about David Blaine and people like, get the hell out of my house, or no, I ain't playing around with this shit. Like, because the concern is that when you open up those doors, you can't just open and close those doors at will. Sometimes you open those doors, you can't close them, and nor do you have any control over what comes through that door, right? And what their intentions are, what effect they're going to have on you. So you can invite something into your life that you just don't need. Like, life is hard enough. I don't need no help. my life is as difficult as I can handle it. I don't need to step it up. You know what I'm saying? Let's make it more difficult. I'm gonna start messing around with some demons and shit. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good on that. So yeah. But that would be like, if they, I swear, if they go into Robyn's house and they open up the doll room door and they got like a little Brown family doll thing with the ex-wives, I'm a howl. I'm gonna howl. It's gonna be hilarious. Scary as shit. If I was the other wives, I would be scared. Like, that would be like, if I had a ex or somebody and they had, like, I found out they had a doll of me, yeah, I would be, yeah, that would horrify me. But high comedy, you know. Robyn is, I bet if she did that shit, Robyn, if you doing that, you are not stable. You're not okay. You're not okay. And there's nothing cute about it. But I appreciate you guys. Yeah, I will be releasing videos all week because I think that there's some points I wanted to make about what they talked about in tonight's episode that I didn't necessarily get around to. But yeah. I feel like I'm letting you guys down on the Debbie Downer. Don't be messing around no demons. I'm just curious. You know, I'm also the guy that wouldn't be, you know, I'm the guy who if I would survive horror films because I wouldn't go investigate. I'm also that guy. James, Bobby's been missing for 4 hours. I haven't seen Susan or Tom either. They went in the woods and never came back. I think there's a noise in the basement. You want to go look? No, I'm gonna be in the car. Okay, I'm getting out of here. I don't know what you thinking. Like, I don't know why you told me that people missing. Shit, I'm gonna go to town. I'm gonna get the police, and I'm gonna tell them to come in and make sure that Tom, Bob, Frank, and Lou are okay. That's what I'm gonna do. Now, you can stay here if you want. You go down the basement. I will call you decoy, and I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You know what I mean? I tell you what. If I was in one of them movies, you know what I'm saying? They when the police showed up, they be like, yeah. What do you think happened? Well, apparently he saw him over there. How do you know? You see that wet spot? Yep. And then we follow that all the way to here, and that's where he's laying at. How do you know he was running away? Oh, yeah, everything is in his back. He was not playing. He was hauling ass. One of my favorite, just real quick, one of my favorite, yeah, somebody got to live to tell the story. That's right. Somebody got to tell the story. I need to tell the world of your greatness, Jason. You were sneaking through the woods. Ain't nobody even know you was there playing, which is crazy because you're like 8 feet tall. Well, there was a movie I saw, like, you know, heyday of slasher films. There was this kid, he was out in the woods, you know, and get a slasher man running around, he getting everybody, getting them. And this kid was in the woods, little nerdy dude, and he saw the man jump out, and he got one person, right? He got the one person. My man saw this shit, he just started running, right? And this shit was so classic. It was so classic. He ran. It was at nighttime when all the shit went down. No, it was the afternoon. It was afternoon. The person got knocked off. He saw a person get knocked off. He started running. Man started chasing him. Couldn't catch my boy because he was gone. He hit them woods like a deer. All you heard out of his ass was, right? He was gone. Right? They showed the nighttime. He in there doing his thing, getting more people. The next day, they show the guy running. his ass was still running. He was still running. My man he was running. I don't know. He must have passed towns and shit. He ran for about 2 days. I was like, that's my hero. That's how you do it. You know, needless to say, he was one of the last people to survive because, you know, that I don't think Maniac Man's cardio was together. Like, you go after that dude, your cardio's got to be straight. He was strong and he was doing some crazy stuff. But what he was not prepared for was that marathon that young man was putting his ass on. Like, you trying to get this? Like I said, it's all going to be in the back. Back door deal. That's what I'm saying. He was just running his ass off. My man was just he started off strong though. And then like 2 days later, but he ain't stopped. He was like, he ain't gonna get me. I ain't gonna die a virgin. Oh, that movie was fantastic. I can't remember the name of the movie. I'll never forget that scene. But I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks so much. Let me give a shout out again. Let's keep I want to give a shout out to our members who were maybe going through some rough times. We had Jody Periscala, we have Carmel Cuties, Betty Aldridge, Megatron, Darlene Hall. And if anybody else needs support, doesn't necessarily want to feel comfortable having their name shout out, just know this is for you. Let's put some hearts in the chat for those individuals. Give them that support and that love. Also want to recognize we had quite a few super chats come through tonight. I appreciate that. Let me give a shout out to, first and foremost, let me give a shout out to the people who are making the chat cool and safe, keep holding everything down. With the Mega Mod Squad, Lizzie B, Carmel Cuties, and Brittany Not Brittany. Thank you guys so much. Salute for the fine work that you do. We had Megatron, Unlimited Lipstick, Just Scrapping in the house, or as I call her, Hitmaker. Hitmaker in the house. We have Megatron. Hold on, let's see. Michelle Woods up in here. Love Soka. Brittany Not Brittany. We had Extraordinary Machines. Marie H. That's My Shoe. We had Ty. Then we had Jenny Jett. Cindy McKenzie. Raiders Ma. Perfumes. All Life. Lee. Lizzie B, and Jody Periscala. Thank you guys so much. Let me give you all a little something. Hey, and again, I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me. I know it's kind of long in the tooth. I appreciate you. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your evening and a most awesome, amazing Monday morning and Monday day. All right, we'll be back again on Tuesday for you guys to be able to call in with your comments and your observations. We'll also be back on Thursday for the Speak Pipe Live, where we react and respond to your messages. That's my take. I'm James, and this has been my take on reality, and I'm out. Have a great night, guys. Thanks so much.
Country living, I don't need a guy.